What's up, guys? What's up? Good to see you. Happy Friday. Welcome to the stream. It's gonna be a very fun stream. This stream is gonna go down in history because Sam Lazarus from Rokoko is joining us, and we are covering the tricky subject of character retargeting, guys. We're covering it in every single program that ever exists in the whole world. Just kidding. We're just covering the main programs. We're gonna cover Blender, we're gonna cover C4D, we're gonna cover Maya, we're gonna cover Unreal Engine. Sam is gonna be guiding myself and y'all through the process of character retargeting for all of these fun 3D challenges that we do. Specifically this one, Eternal Ascent, right? It's got you guys, you know, putting your custom character onto mocap data, walking up some steps. So we're gonna get you guys covered. I know a lot of you guys have questions. So here's what we're gonna do. Here's how it's gonna go down. First off, what's up everybody? Welcome to the stream, good to see you. Thanks for joining us on this Friday. We're gonna start in Blender, because I feel like most of you guys use Blender. Sam's gonna show you all the tools and tips for retargeting in Blender. Sotomonte, he's also on deck. He's gonna chime in if needed for anything. We're gonna get through the process in Blender, we'll show you that. And then if you guys have Q&A for Blender, we're gonna do that, Q&A for Blender, right? Then we're gonna move on, we're gonna touch Cinema. We're gonna get in there. Sam's gonna show you the character retargeting setup in Cinema 4D. Same deal. After the process, we'll open up to Q&A for Cinema, same for Maya, and then same for Unreal, which we'll spend most of our time in Unreal. You know, and then after that, we'll just hang out, we'll do some more Q's and A's for you guys. Let's see. So, announcement-wise, before we hop over to Sam, actually some really cool news for you guys. So Kitbash 3D is joining us for this challenge. They're stepping up for bonus prizes for y'all. Freaking insane. So the top 5, you guys are all getting 3 months of Cargo Pro. Those top 5 winners, right? If you guys don't know about Cargo, it's their new like asset library. You can go through and pick individual assets, whole kits, whatever. You know, it's down to the individual asset on Cargo Pro. It's amazing. I've been using it in my art. We'll get there later in the stream. And then the top 100, each of you guys get 1 kit of your choice of 5 kits, right? So, very cool, super awesome for the people at Kitbash. There's a link down below, the sponsor link. If you look at, I believe it's the 3rd or 4th link under sponsors, Kitbash 3D, head on over. And I got you guys 20% off for Cargo Pro using that link. Click that link down below, guys. Get to it. So thank you to the good people at Kitbash 3D. Y'all are awesome. Thanks for joining us on this challenge. With that, I think there's only one other thing. Rokoko, not Rokoko, let's see, Sam, he gave us a very important file. And it is a mocap skeleton file, a mixamo skeleton file that you can find on the Discord. Download that, it's gonna make retargeting easier. We're gonna get into it. But I believe that's the last update / announcement, and there's a bunch of resource links below for you guys to follow for retargeting, everything retargeting. We got it split up into Blender, C4D, Unreal. So without further ado, guys, let's get to our guest. Let's hop on over. Sam, dude, yes, thank you. Thank you. Dude, absolutely, man. I had to pull out the beanie. Dude, honestly, like, got a few of those, you know? Beanie Babies, baby. Yeah, dude, and thank you for, like, I remember, you know, when we were getting the project files. Okay, so they can't hear Sam. Oh, it's fixed. All right, we're back. What's up, Sam? How you doing,
okay,
dude?
The important thing I said is my biker gang is going to be called the Beanie Babies. That was the most important information that you just missed, I think.
Yeah.
And thank you, Clint, for having me. That too.
Yeah, boom. That was perfect. That was perfect. Guys, I want to hear the thumbs ups. I want to see the thumbs ups in chat when we can hear Sam. Sotomonte says we're fixed, but just want to make sure. I'm muted too. Soto, we good?
Oh, and just me, baby. Now, okay, welcome to my stream. Today, we're talking, I don't know, about beanies, I guess.
Sotomonte, where are you?
Soto's gone.
No, I'm here. I'm just checking.
This is our.
All right, we're set. I'm seeing thumbs.
Got it. This means that nothing else
All right,
is going to go
thumbs.
wrong. Now we've got,
We got thumbs. There's always.
It's
Wait.
always.
Hopefully,
Something.
the announcements. You guys hear me on the announcements.
Ooh.
We're good on the announcements? Can y'all confirm that you could hear me on the announcements? See, look, every time, that's why I get so nervous during these streams. There's always one thing. There's always one thing. Okay.
It's always something.
Okay, heard. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, so Beanie Babies is the biker gang. What's up, Sam? Good to see you. We're talking character retargeting today. All programs.
Yes.
Let's see, what else are we getting into? Dude, so yes, I was gonna say that when I was, so Sypo put together the Unreal Engine file for this challenge. I took that file and I was like, hey Sam, is this set up okay? And you were like, bro, let me help you.
Yeah.
And I was like, thank God. And you walked me through like the UE4, UE5 mannequin setup. And I'm like, dude, this is so over my head. Would you just be down to come on stream and walk people through? And you're like, absolutely. I wasn't gonna ask you, but yes. Thank you for being here. This stream will go down in history because everyone is gonna be referencing this for all time on all these challenges because it's such a confusing subject. Why is it so confusing, Sam?
Yes. Well, yeah, and again, I thank you for having me as I might have been muted, but like I am a huge fan. I don't complete enough weekly challenges or, but I'm like, this is so awesome for me to be here. And yeah, I am also excited to be here because, Rokoko, like we've made it very easy to make motion capture, but that is such a, mocap is tough. It's something that most people don't have experience with. Usually in the indie world, people maybe have used mixamo to do it. It's very automatic, but when it comes to like getting your mocap animation onto a character for lots of reasons, one being it's always been so expensive and out of reach. That's like slowly changed with Rokoko, but all the other companies. But that means that a lot of generalists haven't touched that world before, and it's a doozy of a world. It's a lot of rotation, keyframe. It's a tough thing, and it can be really confusing. And so I'm happy to be here to like spread the gospel of it's totally manageable. It's possible. There are great resources online, whether they're Rokoko or others. Like it's doable, and it's really cool when you kind of unlock having access to that stuff. Even if it's like I've got your old moving meditations mocap. Like if you want to use that, there's so many cool things you can do with mocap, and I'm happy to like try to get people a little bit further to understanding how to do it because it is scary.
Yeah.
And yeah, as yeah.
100%. And like it's something that I am gonna have a lot of questions. Like honestly, this stream is selfishly for me because I use it so much.
No. And it's awesome. It's going to be good to have you asking questions as we go. As someone who is very focused on an end result, right? Like that's the thing is you'll have hopefully really great questions about like, not the theory, but the practice. Like how do I actually, what are you doing there? What tab is that? Like stop. What is that? Let's talk about that. So let's do it.
All right.
Good.
So like we talked about, do we want to hop into Blender first and talk about
I want to do my quick spiel
the
first,
overview. Yeah, let's do the overview.
Very
Tell
quickly.
us about the overview.
Yeah. And I wish I had like a slide or something, but I don't. Okay. I think so we're going to get into all these programs today. I think Clint has the chat for questions. Hope there'll be questions that we'll be able to answer. The first thing that I always say in my spiel though is I'm a generalist. there are many ways to do these things that we're going to be doing. So what we're going to be going over today are what I think are some of the best ways to do it. They're the ways that I do it personally, but that does not mean they're the only way to do it. And it also doesn't mean that what we're going to cover is going to cover any situation. As everyone here knows, CG, every project is different. Every model is different. So this won't necessarily be a cure-all for all your problems. I hope it will be very helpful, but there are many ways to do things. That's A. And B, like, I'm not a main Blender user. Like, don't come at me for not using Blender hotkeys. I'm sorry. Like, there will be things that I am only partially versed in as we get into all this. So that's my cover my ass.
The disclaimer, the terms and conditions.
At the top,
yes.
The disclaimer, which I think is just true. It's CG is so varied. Okay, but the other thing that I want to go through is just the overview of motion capture that we're going to be talking about, because even though we're going to be in different programs today, really mocap works in a kind of the same way, no matter the program, in the broad strokes. And so I just want to talk about those like super briefly. And the first step for motion capture is always definition. So you've got your motion capture animation, you've got your rigged character, and these programs are dumb. They don't know inherently that the left arm bone on your mocap is the left arm bone, and they don't know that the left arm bone on your character is the left arm bone. So the first step when you're doing mocap retargeting, which is what we're going to be doing today, which is the process of taking motion capture, putting it on a character, is something we call definition, bone definition, bone maps. It's where we go in and we tell the program, hey, this is the left arm on my mocap, this is the left arm on my character. And we do that so that in the next step, which is the retargeting, it knows, which is just copying animation. It's just copying keyframe animation from one bone to another. Like, that's all, mocap is. That's all retargeting is. It's very simple. It's very dumb. It's just copying keyframes. But you need to tell the programs where the keyframe should go, right? That's the definition stage. So define, then we copy our mocap to our character, retargeting, and then we have the editing stage. And with a lot of motion capture, sometimes you don't need to do any editing. The file that Clint has created is actually really clean already. It looks really good, but you might get things where, for example, in the characters I've been working with, the arms will be clipping through the legs, right? Things like that.
Yeah.
And that goes all the way up to getting very detailed. I want my character to be holding a shield or to be waving a flag, right? That's all going to be done in the editing stage. And the key with editing is you want to do it non-destructively. And there are tools in all the programs we're going to talk about today where there's a layering animation system, which means we've got our base animation at the bottom, but we can throw a layer on top of that and do additive animation on top of that, because we don't want to delete the animation that's already there, right?
Yeah.
So that's a key part of this as well. And those are kind of the stages of motion capture. So that's my spiel, and hopefully that made sense. And,
so hit the three again. What are the three steps?
Definition.
You define.
Then retargeting.
Yeah.
And then editing. Those are like really at any level of mocap, Marvel, indie, hobby, it's all the same. Those are the steps that everyone goes through, and they're broadly the same in every program, right? It's not like the only program that's a little different is iClone, because you don't have to do definition really, because you can just drag them in. We're not going to talk about iClone today, but broadly you always follow, and you'll see as we go. I'm going to point these out as we go through these programs, each stage. So I think that's valuable to know. I think. No, that's great. Going in.
That gets everybody kind of on the same page, like where we're at. No one's going to be lost. So you're when you say the definition, meaning you're making sure that the skeleton, the mocap skeleton, is talking with the character, with the rig. They speak the same language, essentially, right?
Yeah, you're basically, and again, it's a dumb process, right? We're just copying keyframes from one joint to another, but the program just has no idea inherently where that data should go. So you need to tell it, This is the left arm mocap. This is the left arm character. This is the left forearm mocap. And a lot of this is automated. We're going to be using mixamo characters. A lot of these plugins and processes, it's like you select mixamo and it like auto generates, but if it doesn't, it's important to know that that's a key part of the process, right? And it can be frustrating because it's like you're going through the skeleton and like left arm, it's annoying to click sometimes, but it's not that hard. Again, it's like,
let's hop into it. Let's do it.
Doable.
Let's see what we got.
Let's get into it.
So Blender, right? You got Blender open?
I got Blender open. Let's do it.
Here we go.
And all again,
right. We're on you.
Apologies. Yeah, we're on me, and I'm using not industry hotkeys in Blender. So some of these things might be different from the way that Blender native users are used to doing things. Soto, like, call me out, and if there are questions, I'm happy to answer them again to the best of my ability. But we're gonna start really simple here. So I've got a blank project, but if you're using the template project, you can, I assume you'll be doing it in the template project or something, but we're just gonna be in a blank project here because it's just cleaner. The plugins I'm going to call out today, and I think there are links to these in the description below. But yeah, we're going to be using the Rokoko plugin. It's a free plugin for the retargeting and the definition stages. Really good, easy to use plugin. It's free. You need a Rokoko ID. You don't have to use Rokoko. There are other ones. For example, the Auto Rig Pro plugin, which we're going to be using as well because it has a really good IK control rig setup. And then also there's no animation in my scene, so you can't see it, but there is a great animation layers plugin on the Blender marketplace. A lot of you probably already have it for one reason or another. It's called animation layers. There should be a link to it. That's going to be for editing. That's going to be for creating layers. And there's also a native tool in Blender that you can use for that, but this one is better, so we're going to be using that. The other thing that actually I want to point out before we get started is we are going to be, if there are things that don't come up today and you want to, I have put together a bunch of tutorials on the Rokoko YouTube channel. Go to the Rokoko YouTube channel. This playlist, Ultimate Retargeting Workflows, this has guides, for every software, and like
amazing.
This will explain things. So go here if you miss something or if it doesn't clear.
And that's linked below.
That should explain.
Correct.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah.
Okay. Sweet.
Okay, enough talky. So the first thing I'm gonna do, and I'm just gonna go through this, and you ask questions, Clint. But we're just gonna do it. What I've got here is a mixamo character. We're going to be using a mixamo character because it's a good baseline. I think a lot of you will be using mixamo characters. This will also work with custom characters, but for our purposes, we're going to be using a mixamo character. Whenever I pull in an FBX in Blender, I like to check automatic bone orientation under armature. Makes things look nice. So I'm going to check that and import. And look, we're starting off. We just got a mixamo character. Boom. It's in a T-pose. That is very important. We want it to be in a T-pose. And that's because when we go and we pull in our motion capture, and this is the file that Clint just added to the Discord, right?
Yeah, it's on the Discord in the announcements under Eternal Ascent. And then I also added it to like the whole project file. If you click download project files, it'll be in there too.
Cool.
And last thing here, a mixamo T-pose. Just wanna clarify. When you're on Mixamo, you can choose the character and you can choose the animation. And the animation you want, if you type in T-pose, passwords. Hold on now. Are you good? We're on you.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It doesn't show my
emails and passwords.
No, you can see my email, whatever.
Okay.
Don't spam me. But it just never loads. But yeah, you upload your character, then even if you uploaded it in a T-pose, you want to go to animations, type in T-pose, and select it.
Yep.
Yeah. So you do want to do that. Yeah.
And this is like a custom character that you uploaded to Mixamo, right?
This is the custom character that I uploaded. The funny thing about Mixamo, which is good information, is that some of the characters that are just here, especially the really old one, the legacy ones, they actually have different skeletons than what the auto rigger will give you. If you upload a character to Mixamo, that's the best way to know that all this will work the right way. Some of these old characters have like slightly different skeletons for whatever reason. But yeah, we're going to be using, this is a character I uploaded, use the auto rigger, select T-pose, download.
Boom.
And that brings us to here.
Boom.
Boom. And it is, ooh, look, it has a texture. Okay, but it's in a T-pose, right? That is important. So, and the reason it's important is because when we bring in our mocap, again, check automatic bone orientation. Our mocap is also in a T-pose. And that's because when we do our, remember, we're just copying keyframes, right? And what that means is that you need the initial orientation of all those bones to be the same, right? If we're copying mocap keyframes, right? Like for this arm, right? The right arm, it's like down, you know, the rotation keyframes tell it like go down to the side on the whatever, the Y axis, right? If our character has a completely different orientation, it's all going to be relative to the initial orientation, right? So basically you want your character and your mocap to be in the same pose as close as possible when you do your retargeting, because we're just copying keyframes. And if they're in different poses, they're going to be offset by how different they were when you copy those keyframes over. Does that make sense? It's always hard to explain.
100%. Yeah, like
Okay.
let's see, show a good example of
like an A pose. Yeah.
Let's see. I know I have a video here of when I did the poor version of this and I retargeted it in the wrong way. So like this. Let's see. Can this loop? Does this loop? Will this loop?
And the hands are like in the body.
Like this. Where it's like,
yeah.
you know, it's like that was not T-pose to T-pose. That was some weird pose to some.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was janky.
So the animation's on there. The animation's on there, but it's just not in the right position because it was offset by how different the character and the mocap starting poses were. The other thing to mention is this file that you guys have, because we want frame 0 to be a T-pose, it goes up to 120 frames. So if I shift this back by 1 frame in the timeline,
like everything back by 1.
Yeah, so you'll have to do that, right, to get it to fit into that 120 frames for this project. It's just something to know that frame 0 is a T-pose. So that means that for frame 0 to be the first frame of animation, you're gonna have to move it back. But it needs to be a T-pose. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, let's get to the actual retargeting. So we've got our mocap. Let's make sure our project is, yep, we're in 24, looks good. We hit play. We got the mocap, right? This is what we need. This is Clint's mocap. So to retarget this onto our character, I'm going to open up the Rokoko plugin.
Linked below.
Links below for install and everything. We're going to go to the retargeting section here. Under source, I'm going to put in, we can check it to be sure, but it's Armature 01. They're named the same thing, which is a little confusing, but it's Armature 01, source of our animation. Target, where is the animation going? It's going to our character. And you can see, then we get this build bone list. And because these are mixamo characters, it all fills out automatically. So how nice is that? Actually, it doesn't. Look, the pinky isn't there. So that might be something. I'm not going to fill it in now, but if there are missing fields here, you would go in. Oh, it looks like there is no pinky on. Maybe there's not a pinky on my character. Oh, it's not rigged. It looks like this hand didn't have a pinky bone. Anyway, point being, if any of these fields are blank, or even if they're all blank, you just have to go in and you're matching these up, right? This is that definition phase when we tell Blender, hey, look, hips of my mocap, hips of my character, spine of my mocap, spine of my character, right? And so you go through and you define everything. And this should be automatic if you're using mixamo character. If you're using customer character, you might have to fill it out. You can always hit save, so you only have to do it one time, but pretty easy, right? It should be fairly automatic. And we hit retarget animation.
So they don't need to be on the same level. Oh, wow. Okay,
That's it.
so in cinema, it will like throw it off if they're not exactly paired in the same spot, I guess is the best way I can describe that. We'll get there. We'll get to that point, but
we'll get there. Yeah. No, but it should be, as long as you're in a T pose, it should be pretty easy. And look, and this process, unlike cinema, this process, what we've done is we've actually copied these keyframes over. So now at this point, look, I can just delete my mocap. I got my, I got the animation.
Okay, so then
on there.
what do you do about the clipping
Easy.
hands? How do you move that and like?
Okay. So yeah, so the clipping hand. So the way that we can do it very simply, and there's two ways to do mocap editing. There's FK and then there's IK. IK is inverse kinematic, FK is forward kinematic. What you want ideally is to have an IK control rig, and we're going to be talking about
now, when you
that
say
a
IK,
little bit.
you mean
moving
like
forward.
My hand stays and everything else goes.
Exactly.
Like the hand stays put, and then FK is like this from the shoulder, rotating from the shoulder.
Yeah, it's always difficult to explain these things as well.
like
But basically what it means is the way that you can think about FK and IK, and for a lot of you, this is something you'll know. But let's say I'm trying to position my arm in a good way. Let's say like this. FK basically just means you're going down the chain.
You're moving forward.
To the end bone. Yeah, you're moving forward, right? You're moving forward through the chain. So if I want to move the position of my wrist, I have to move my upper arm, then I have to move this arm, then I move my wrist, right? FK or IK, inverse kinematic, means you're going backwards. And what's really cool about that is, say if I want to move the position of this wrist, I can move the wrist and the rest of the bones will just follow where that wrist is going. So IK mocap editing is kind of the holy grail of mocap editing. It makes it a lot easier to do the editing generally because it means you're just dealing with those end bones. You're not having to go through a whole chain to move the wrist. And it's oftentimes the wrist or the foot that we're looking at editing, right? Those are the things that usually have clipping issues, whatever it may be. So the way that we can go and do some FK editing
on like the hands
is first thing
or the shoulders
on the hands. Yeah, let's just try and fix this clipping. You can see that we have clipping here, right? Like, look at this.
Yeah, it's going in.
This one is a little bit worse, right? So what we can do is I'm going to use this animation layer add-on. Again, there is a native, if you go to the, where is it? It's called nonlinear animation in Blender. I'm not going to go through this workflow. It's in my tutorial on our YouTube channel if you want to see the native tools. This plugin, it's paid, but it's so great for so many things in Blender. It's kind of, I think, worth it for you to check out even if you don't do mocap all the time. So we're going to use this. It's called Animation Layers. It's on the Blender Marketplace. Turn it on, and you can see look at all the keyframes I've got down here on my character, right? If I hit plus with my armature selected, keyframes are gone. Now, does that mean the mocap is gone? No. Mocap's still there. But what you can see now, sorry, my cadence. No, yeah, my ShamWow cadence. But what this is really amazing, actually, because again, if we go to this base layer, think about if you're trying to adjust the movement of an arm that's already keyframed at every key, at every frame. Dude. You'd have to go every frame and adjust it. It'd be so frustrating. Yeah, as opposed to, if we go to pose mode, and again, this is where my Blender noobishness shows and the way that I'm manipulating this. But now there's no keyframes on this because we're in this layer, this anim layer, which you'll notice is above my base layer. And what we can do, add a keyframe. We have not lost our animation. The arm is still moving, but it's persistently fixed. It's gonna persist. And of course we can edit this, right? We could, okay, let's have it move, not that way. Back down.
All right,
Add a keyframe. Now
replay. Do it again. How'd you do that again? You selected.
Okay, let me do it on the head. Let me do it on the head.
Yeah, get a little head turn.
That's a better one.
Get a little head turn.
Okay, and you can see when I select the head, empty timeline down here. It's kind of hidden behind Clint's video, but it's an empty timeline, right? Let's say on my Eternal Ascent, I want the character to look up by the end of the animation, right? Well, I'm just gonna rotate down the head. I'm hitting S to add a keyframe. I think it's Soto. What is it? Maybe I'm sure it's different on non-industry standard keyframe. Whatever. Insert keyframe. Right. I'm adding a keyframe to the head.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different ways to do that. And then
I think it's I, if I'm not wrong. But
it might be I. Yeah, that sounds right. And I'm gonna drag it so you can see it. Here's the keyframe I added. Right. You can see the head is pointed down the entire time. By the end, I want it to look up.
To the future. Hope.
Add a keyframe, look at that.
Yes. Dude, so simple.
And so simple. And you can use this principle to do all the rest of your animation editing as needed. Now, what we can also do really quickly, or how are we doing on time on Blender? Should we move or?
I mean, we're moving at a good pace. We're gonna hit Q&A in Blender in a second, guys. So get your questions ready. Get ready to hit me with @pwnisher when I say not yet. We're gonna get there in a sec.
Let me set this up one more time, and I want to show another really cool thing.
Yes.
So this is going to use the Auto Rig Pro plugin, and right now I'm going through the exact same steps we went through previously.
But instead of using the Rokoko definition, you're using
no. We're gonna do that too. I'm gonna use the Rokoko retargeting. Same exact steps. I'm just getting a clean project. Here we go. Mocap done. Delete my mocap. But this time, what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a quick rig from Auto Rig Pro on top of this. So Auto Rig Pro, another paid plugin, an amazing plugin. I'm not the only one this is not a niche. This is probably one of the top plugins on the Blender marketplace. Very well established. It also means there's lots of tutorials out there from many people about how to use it beyond myself, which is always good because I'm not a Blender user generally. But basically, there's a quick rig add-on to Auto Rig Pro. You can see down here, quick rig, right? And what we can do here is if I go to import, there's a mixamo preset. Now, if you have a custom character, the thing I love about this plugin is it's one of the easier plugins to make a custom IK control rig. The way you do it, I'm going to load in the mixamo one because we have a mixamo character. But you can see what it does is it gives you, spine, head, leg, right? If you aren't using a mixamo character, it's still very easy to it'll give you these categories: spine, leg, head, all these. And you just need to go and fill them out with your character skeleton, which is very easy relative to some of the other systems. So in this case, it did it automatically for us. But the thing that's nice about this plugin is that, again, it's super hard to create custom IK control rigs normally. This plugin makes it really easy.
Cool.
So big ups to this plugin. When I hit quick rig, look at this. I want to, under animation, bake animation, arms, I want to do IK, not FK. Legs, it gives me an option. I want IK for the legs too. Okay. I click OK. And look, it has automatically added an IK control rig. So when we were talking earlier about the difference between IK and FK, this is IK. Look, I can grab the wrist and the rest of the arm just moves.
IK inverse. Inverse. It's going from the wrist and then
exactly.
Down
it's going
the chain.
backwards. Yeah. It's going up the chain.
Okay.
Or depending on your. But the important thing is you can grab the end bone and move it, which is so great. And look, I've baked.
Oh, he's got a balloon wrist.
Super freaking cool. I don't know why it twisted this.
Oh, it's the whole.
Oh no, it twisted the arm.
It's both.
I'm not gonna worry about that right now, but in theory, it should just be easy to fix that. Okay, it did some arm twisting or something. But let's say we even, oh yeah, and it's persistent. Look, because there's no keyframes on this. Yeah, interesting. I didn't think I'd be able to twist it. Anyway, point being, you can use the same thing that we just did to create an animation layer, right? And then add, if we wanted to this time, add a keyframe, and like, ooh, it's so much easier to, I want it to go up and whatever, like scratch his head or something, right?
Yeah.
And then we can like maybe we have to make some adjustments. I'm not going to spend a ton of time fine tuning this, but hopefully you can see.
Yeah, they get the point.
How much,
for sure.
Yeah, easier it is to do corrections when you've got an IK system. And for a lot of people, I imagine this is really going to come in handy when changing the terrain for their stairs, right? So this just makes it really easy. So
yeah, if you guys
really
need to
cool.
do like fine adjustments to make sure the foot is stuck onto whatever, thing, onto that step perfectly, then that's
you've
awesome.
Changed the stair because you've got a custom environment, obviously, and this will make it really simple. And this is all, I always say it's easy. That's of course a relative term. I think it's complicated, obviously, but also it is achieved. Like, this is super doable, I think, and it's really, these are difficult concepts when you start, but they soon become rote, and it soon becomes very easy. And it's so much easier now than it was a year ago, 2 years ago, so it's really great, these methods that we have now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay, I'm gonna transition here to Q&A. So if you guys have any Blender questions right now, let's just take 5-ish minutes. Hit me with @pwnisher in the chat, in the live chat. I'm looking at you guys right now. That way I can see the comment, right? It's a little easier if you do @pwnisher. While you guys do that, those 3 chapters that you have, or those 3 steps: define, retarget, edit. That's like such a great way to think about it, and I think that helps me think about it in a kind of more of a step-by-step process. So that's great.
Yeah. I think once you understand the fundamental what's happening and how really base it is, right? How dumb it is. It is so. I get all these questions all the time, for instance, about like, can I do X, Y, and Z with mocap retargeting? Can I retarget it onto like an arm on the backpack? At the end of the day, these are just keyframed joints. Like, there's nothing special about this mocap animation. It's just keyframe joints, right? So you can do lots of interesting, novel things with that animation data, but it's very opaque, I think, when you first start looking at retargeting. And I find it helps knowing that it's just like, it's dumb data, right? It's just keyframes, and so you're just copying them around, right?
So we got some good questions. Right now, the ones I'm seeing doubled up are, how do you do it without the animation layers plugin?
Okay, let's do it.
Do I need to move my head here, down here on the bottom left? I know you were searching down there.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
So
but let me see if I can remember
flip us up
this.
to the top. If
I'm
he comes
just
down
restarting. I'm just restarting this because, again, I'm so bad at Blender that like I can't. Like,
dude, I wouldn't even be able to
do things.
Orbit. You're good.
Okay, yeah.
You're killing it.
It's an interesting thing about Rokoko work is that we work in all the different programs. So I try my hardest to.
Great. So you're recreating the steps. The Rokoko plugin is free, right, for Blender?
Rokoko plugin's free.
Boom.
There's a bunch of different plugins to do it, though. You do not have to. I like to. Hey, I'm here to. Rokoko's awesome. Use Rokoko, but like, there's a lot of different ways.
Yeah,
there's so many different circumstances. Like, do what works for you, man. Okay. First thing I'm gonna do.
Whoa.
Whoa. Is you can see I got my frame 0.
My border. My border. What happened to my clothes?
my frame, I'm just going to move this back to start so that, you know, it does start on the right thing.
Totally.
And let's say I wanted to go in and just do some FK editing. The principle would be the same if you have a control rig, but in this case, I'm just going to do it for FK. So I'm going to go to the non-linear animation panel up here. And you can see what the non-linear animation typically does is it converts all the animation in your timeline to like these blocks, these easily manipulated blocks where they're not really separated out by frame, by body part. It's like you got a block of animation now that we're working with, right?
Like layers in like DaVinci, like video layers.
Yeah, it's a layer of animation, right? Yeah, I mean, right. It's a layer, it's the non-linear animation layer. So what we can do is if we click this push down button, you can see I got my baseline animation. We've added a layer on top, right? So the same thing that we were doing before. Very simple. We'll go to pose mode. The important thing to know here is that for this layer, we want the blending to be combine. If you make it replace, it's going to replace the animation on that joint. If we do combine, the goal is always to do additive animation. We want to do non-destructive editing. We want to add something on top of what we already have. We don't want to delete what we already got, right? We have that nice walking motion. We just want to change where the arm is slightly. So I'm going to do combine. And at this point, let's just add a keyframe and move it up. Sorry, let me go back and
make it drastic.
Let's do something really extreme
crazy.
So you can see it. Add a keyframe.
Hey, there it is.
Now it's over here. And what I always like to do too is, and if we get into Maya, there's a great way to do this in Maya, but what you often want to do with mocap editing is you're fixing a specific point where there's a problem, but you don't really want the rest of the mocap to be in that position that you move. You know, usually it's like you're swinging, let's say you're swinging your arm to with a sword, right? And it's like at a certain point, it cuts through my right arm is going through my left arm. I just want to fix that one moment, right? Move my arm so it isn't intersecting. So what you can do is always grab that original keyframe you made. See if I can do it here. I might have to, how do I go in and get it? Oh, there should be a way to go in and get the original keyframe. I'm just too dumb. Oh, I may have to go to the timeline again. Yeah. So here's that keyframe we made originally, right? The original position of the arm.
Untampered.
Yeah. I can just copy that back.
Yeah.
And it goes back to where it was originally, right? So that can be a nice, like usually when you're fixing mocap clipping problems, it's like we would just do this. Let's delete this one in the middle. So this is a keyframe where things are ostensibly okay. Let's actually move it out a little bit. And let's say it clips right here. Move it out. And then like we want it to go back to where it should be, copy and add the keyframe back. That was a bad example, but
I get it.
You can kind of see what I mean. Yeah, you have your safe keyframe at the beginning that you can just copy back.
Sweet, okay.
So that's how you do that.
Let's see, other ones, let's see. All right, so that helps the animation. If you guys don't have animation layers plug in. How much animation can we change on the character? Good question, not Lawrence. The answer is just the head, just the arms. If you want them holding something for your story, if you want them looking in a certain direction for your story, yes. But in general, the mocap data is there, the animation is there to like link all of the renders together, right? So you don't want to be changing all the steps and all this and that. Let's see, T-pose or rest pose that needs to match. What does that mean?
Yeah, this is a great question. So it means that basically sometimes you get characters. I'm gonna start a new project again.
You can put me back down, Sotomonte.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Let me go and grab another character. Yeah, this guy's a good example, I think. See if it loads in. But so what this question is concerning rest poses versus current poses. Now, this guy looks like he's in a T pose right now. But if we go to the edit mode,
but don't be deceived.
Yeah, normally this guy I set up correctly, but let's go to another
T-pose or not T-pose. I don't know, they look the same to me.
Yeah, you do want it to be in a T. It's basically that, where's a badly set up guy? Hold on. I think this guy is.
Ooh, super cool.
Yeah, so here you can kind of see the difference. So this looks like it's in a T-pose, right? But oftentimes what will happen, especially if you're using mixamo, what will often happen is you load up a character in an A pose to mixamo, which is fine, right? Mixamo will love that. And that means A pose just means the arms are down to the side.
Like this.
Right?
Yep. T-pose.
As opposed to T-pose. Yep. A pose is the unreal pose generally. And you rig it up and it looks great, and you download it as a T-pose and you import it into Blender and it looks like it's in a T-pose. But when you go to do your mocap editing or retargeting, you get very weird results. And that's because the rest pose will still be that A pose. And that is annoying. In Cinema, there's a way to fix this that we'll talk about. In Blender, the way I'm not going to get into how to fix it on here because I'm not a good enough. But look up, basically, you want to apply as rest pose in Blender. There's a bunch of different ways to do this in Blender. I used to use a plugin called the CATS plugin, C-A-T-S, capital C-A-T-S. Apparently, it's been deprecated for Blender 3.5. I don't think it works in Blender 3.5 anymore or above, which is frustrating. There are other ways to do that, but what you need to do is you need to go and apply the T-pose as the rest pose of your character. Okay. And that means when you go into edit mode, there should be, your character shouldn't shift like this, right? This means that the rest pose, this is the real pose of this character, which actually is a T pose, which is ironic. Normally, like, this would jump into the A pose, right? And what that means is that when you do your retargeting, it's actually going to be offset as if it was in an A pose. So it can be really frustrating. I have, in the tutorials that I have on my YouTube, there should be a way to deal with that. But really, there's lots of tutorials on Blender about getting your character into its rest pose. And that's the keyword you want to be searching for. Rest pose, apply as rest pose Blender. Soto, I don't even know, maybe you have like an easier answer for this. For me, whenever I'm in Blender and there's a command that's called like, how do you search in Blender? Is it tab? The right click?
I think, so there's people in chat.
I think it's F3, but as far as I know, you can just go to pose mode and then on the top left menu, click pose, apply pose at rest pose or something like that. But maybe it's too simple. I don't know.
It's really, that is like how it should work. Oh God, I see. This is where my Blender like dumminess comes in. I don't even know.
It's fine. I think we can move on. I think there's some options in chat. People are giving some potential fixes in chat. Yeah. Take a look at that. Chat if you guys are stuck there. But I think we should move on if there's not another question. Let's see. Characters may glitch on the stairs. Let's see. Any good questions we can hit here? Ashvin, what's the difference between the Blender files V1 versus V4? So basically we only made one update to the Blender file, and that is Sotomonte just added the T-pose in the mocap data. on frame 0 as opposed to -1. So you see it on frame 0. And then he deleted some data that just didn't need to be in there that bloated the file. That's it. But I think...
Just to be clear, there's only 2 versions. The 4 is probably because now we have the version 1 and the version 2 for Blender 4.0 and 3.0.
That's the last thing, yeah. They were able to... I think iCats did the 3.0, right? We split it up.
Yep.
Yeah, so for those of you in 3.0. All right, moving on to Cinema. Let's do it. To it.
Okay.
How
Get into
do
it.
you see now we're into my neck of the woods, but I still, it's tricky. It's tricky for me.
Well, yeah. And the unfortunate thing about Cinema is that it is, and I love Cinema. I am a Cinema guy. I started in Cinema. It's still my main, although Unreal's coming for it. Unfortunately, Cinema 4D has the weakest retargeting tools. It just kind of does. And part of that also is because for Blender, you have a Blender marketplace. You've got all these plugins that people have made. You've got all these free, tools that people have created. Cinema, the native tools are not the easiest, unfortunately. And it's just, you're a little bit more limited in Cinema. So I think that's something good to know going in. It might be more frustrating work in Cinema. It just is.
It's possible though.
It's just kind of
like,
it's so super possible. We're gonna go through it. It's just more basic. You're limited a little bit.
Let's do it. Let's dive in.
Okay, so I'm gonna go and we're gonna do the exact same thing. I'm grabbing my Mixamo rigged character. I'm not gonna reassign takes. One thing I always like to do in Cinema is make sure that this lock override is unchecked in the take system. It can just cause problems I've found in various ways. So turn that off. It's just a good idea unless you're using the take system for some reason. Here I've got my character, right? Mixamo rigged character. And let's be organized. Create a null, Alt-G, character. So there we go. We got our character, Mixamo rigged. And Cinema, I think, is another good thing to mention is Cinema has a bunch of integrations with Mixamo. So if you're doing mocap retargeting in Cinema, it's the easiest if you're using a Mixamo character. And everything kind of works better. There's more options. So it's great. If you're using a Mixamo character, it's a little bit easier. So I'm gonna create Alt-G. Everything selected. I got my mocap and I got my character. And let's set my timeline to 120 frames. We press play. This again is that mocap file that is now in the Discord, right? Yep, that has the T-pose. Yep, T-pose at frame 0 again. So important to know that frame 0 will be a T-pose. And in Cinema, we're going to use something called the character definition tag. Definition. Where have we heard that?
Step one.
We're defining. Exactly.
Retarget.
Step
edit.
one.
Step one.
Define. Exactly. I'm going to get a t-shirt made of this. Yes. So we'll start with our character. I'm going to right click. You want to right click or set this character definition tag, which is under rigging tags, character definition. I'm going to put that on the topmost bone in my skeleton chain, which usually is the hips. It's almost always going to be the hips. I might be able to put it on this null, but I don't think that's very clean. So put it on the hips, and that's the best way to do it.
Cool.
We click that tag. You can see I've got Open Manager down here. Click on that, and we've got a character definition list, right? We've got torso, we've got hips, spine, neck. We've got all the different bones for you to fill out. Now, again, because we're using a Mixamo character that we downloaded from Mixamo, I can just hit Extract Skeleton. It does it all for me. Look, it filled out all this stuff automatically. It's got all my spine bones. It's got my fingers. Everything is set up automatically for me. Again, something weird about the ring finger in this model. But if the ring finger isn't here, if there's a blank joint section up here, see ring, Control click to expand out the entire tree here of my skeleton. I could just go. Oh, there's only 3 bones on my character for whatever
So
reason.
you can
Okay, so that's
actually,
why.
in Mixamo, you can choose how the hands are
Yeah.
set up. You can choose individual fingers, you can choose like mitten, or you can choose like, you know,
Yeah.
whatever. I don't know.
This must be a mitten.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you have to do this manually, the way that you do it is you just go find those bones and like ring finger, you would go and you would grab your ring finger bones. These aren't, this is index, but you would just drag them in. Boop. Now they're in, right? I'm going to delete these. But if you need to do it manually, that's how you go through and you define for each of these things what's what. Because it was a Mixamo character, easy. We don't need to do it. It does it automatically when we hit extract skeleton. Then I'll hit set reference pose.
That locks it in.
Boom. Cool. Defined for our character. Yeah, it's saying the orientation we want to do our retargeting is this pose I have right here, this T pose. So boom. Then we're going to do the same thing for our mocap. Go to the hips, rigging tags, character definition, open manager on the tag, right? With the tag selected, we get these options. This is the mocap that we've provided is a Mixamo skeleton. That means extract. It all works perfectly. For this one, the ring fingers will be in there. Everything is good, right? So that's all good to go. Set reference pose. Now for our character, we're going to click on that character definition tag and we're going to click create solver. And as soon as we do that, we get a new little tag up here. This is a character solver tag. And target character, we have our, I keep saying character, it can get kind of confusing, but basically our Mixamo character is under target. We want to drag in under source the mocap, right? So this tag, drag it into source. And now when we hit play, done.
Heck yeah.
Easy peasy.
That's great.
Super great. Super easy. Looks great. So it's a pretty simple process. And you, again, if you have a custom character, you've got a character creator character, you've got a DAZ character, you might have to, under the character definition tag, go in and manually set up those bones. You can save a preset, so you don't have to do it multiple times. But once you've told the program which bones are which, this solver tag will work the same way, and it should just work. So
do you want to show motion tile or motion? What is it called? What is it called? A motion clip?
Yeah. So let's talk about. Yeah, I think what's important also to note is that if I click on, so here's my character on the hips. There's no keyframes on this hip. If we go in on my mocap, look, these are all the animation keyframes. The reason there's no keyframes on my hip is because this mocap is being transferred. It's like referencing. This solver is like saying, okay, whatever the skeleton with animation is doing, like do that. What makes that tough is if I do this retargeting in here and then I go to my template file, create a new file, I paste in, well, I don't have any of that animation because it was a reference to my motion capture. So what we want to do is we want to bake all these keyframes, we want to bake it to my character. So it's not just saying, calling back to my mocap, right? If that makes sense.
Totally.
The way that we do that, and this is also how you unlock rudimentary editing, is I'm going to go to my character's skeleton. I'm going to select children, select all the bones in my character's skeleton. Then I'm going to go to the dope sheet, which I hate it, docks it in here for some reason for me, which is super annoying. But this is the dope sheet, window, dope sheet, shift F3. And with all my characters' bones selected, I'm going to go to functions, bake objects. And we want to uncheck create copy. We don't want to create a copy. We want to bake down all these keyframes. And it's going to do it for the length of my timeline. So 0 to 120. It won't do it for more or less than what's here. And if I hit bake, it's baked it down. Now I can delete my motion capture. I can delete my tags. And I've still got, these keyframes are actually on here, which is really great.
That's cool.
So super cool. I can now copy this to a new project file. It's all going to be animated still.
Sick.
It's great. Standalone. Yeah. Now the last bit of this, the mocap editing bit of this is we are going to click on my hips. We're going to go to animate, add motion clip. And again, we want to uncheck remove included animation. We don't want to remove the animation. We want to uncheck that. Hit OK. And you can see we get this little tag here. And it's a motion clip tag. And we can hit open in TL. And here, now we've got, this should look like what we just looked like in Blender, right? All the broad strokes of what we're doing in all these programs are similar, right? To do editing, to do non-destructive mocap editing, you want layers, right? You're adding layers on top of that base animation. And here we have a non-linear animation system. Again, we've added all of our motion capture into this one block. Look, if I move this thing around,
just like your
it will move. Yep, exactly. I will want to, because again, frame 0 is my T-pose. I do want to move this by 1 frame over, right? So that it's actually on the right thing. But what we can do now is if we wanted to make changes to our motion capture, excuse my window browsing, I just want you to be able to see the timeline here again. We've got animation keyframes on all of the frames. We go to our motion clip tag. We hit add. It's going to add a new layer in here. Click add. And look again. All those keyframes are gone. I'll move this layer up above our base. And now we can go in and we can start doing FK changes. So, you know, I can, sorry, how do I make this cleaner? Move this over here. I can add a keyframe. And let's say, we'll do the head again. Actually, the head is a really good one. Sometimes I find that like it won't register the first keyframe unless you actually move the head. I don't know why, but I moved the head slightly and added a keyframe. Now, as he's walking up, I want him to look to the heavens, add a keyframe. We've just added that on top, right? So it's the same principle that we just looked at. If I want to have him look up and then look back down, right? I can always control click on this keyframe. Hey, control, hold down control, it creates a copy. I could, I guess, control C, copy it, whatever. But look, the head moves up. Oh no. Golly, what happened?
I will use this time to say, if you guys have any questions for Sam in Cinema 4D for character retargeting, hit us there. I'm not going to answer any rules questions. I'm just going to try and keep it focused to character retargeting in C4D. I can answer that stuff a little bit later once we get through to the end. I want to try and get through all these programs because we still got Maya after this, and then we're going to hit Unreal.
Yeah. And then Unreal, yeah. So yeah, you can see here that it's looking up, right? And what we just went through with that confusion of the keyframes, like that is a symptom of Cinema 4D and the way that this system is set up. It's a little bit messy. You might run into problems that are confusing or don't seem to logically make sense. Like I added a keyframe, why is it not registering? It's part of the cinema situation right now. So it's just, that is to be kind of expected. So you might run into issues like that, but again, if you go to the Rokoko YouTube, like I lay this all out in the tutorial, it should...
Linked below, guys. All that stuff linked below. Yeah. There's a whole cinema section, whole Blender section, Maya, and Unreal section with a bunch of links from Sam down below, so check that out. I'm looking at chat right now, and I'm not seeing any C4D questions.
Let's cruise it.
I say we move on. Let's hit Maya.
Let's move on. I know.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'll save this just in case we want to.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, just in case we want to come back to this guy. Okay, we're going to Maya. So I'm in Maya 2022. Does not matter. Maya has not changed and never will change in anything that it does. It has bugs from 30 years ago, and it's still.
That's a
The
good
thing
thing or a
about
bad thing.
Maya-
You know, it's like it just stays consistent. That's nice.
It is extremely consistent. Maya is the best program for retargeting. It just is. It has 40 years of being the main animation system in the whole CG world. It is the best at doing retargeting. It creates custom control rigs really easily. It's amazing.
Is there
So
like a
it's really-
student version of Maya? Like, is there a way for people?
There is a student version, and they have an indie license now too. That's $300 a year or something like that, which is much better than the $1,500 a year it used to be.
Jeez.
Um,
But a student is free. They can do all this stuff
think
on
so.
student.
I think it's free. You need to have an email address from your institution though.
Okay. All right. A little tricky
Yeah.
maybe, but hey, we're here for the people that have Maya. Here we are.
Yeah. So here, the Maya tutorial I have is really great. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on Maya. Here I've got a custom character, set up. Use the tutorial that I have. This is the definition way that Maya does it. It gives you this map. Here, we'll create a new character definition, and you would go through, and you would select the hip, and look, here's the hip on my guy. Right click. Assign bone. Here's the spine bones on my guy. I would right click, go down, right click, assign. You build up the map this way. Shoulder bend
There's
would
no
be
auto.
in here. There's no auto really. Yeah, it's certainly not for mixamo. What you can do, and I think I've given it out in the Maya tutorial, is if I have a character, and actually let's use the same guy I've been using, mixamo rigged guy. Maya also has weird
Scale.
size things that happen all the time. It doesn't really matter for retargeting. But if I were to create a character definition, this is a mixamo character. I have a mixamo preset I made.
Yeah.
So I
perfect.
did this custom one time. I hit OK. It's done. Super easy. The other thing I will say about Maya that can get really confusing is that it's got this weird namespace system. So what I like to do in Maya is, if I were to import that mixamo mocap take that we've been using, because this is a mixamo character and it has the similar named bones, it would freak out. So what you can do is modify, go to the Windows tab, General Editors, namespace editors, create a new namespace, add this to it. This is very Maya specific, but for Maya people, if you run into namespace issues, that's how you fix that. Then we would go and import our motion capture. Here we got our mocap. We're in the wrong FPS. Let's change this to 24. We got our mocap. What we would do is we would go and we would create a new character definition for our mocap. We would go and either define it manually or load in a preset, which I have. Then you just set the character to your character, the source to your motion capture, and we've retargeted. I have really great tutorials about this process on the YouTube channel. I recommend going there if you want to know more about how to do this in depth. Maya is we could spend all day going through this, but Maya is the best, because what you can do in Maya is, once you've done this definition and retargeting phase, there's no IK control rig that I've made for this character. But as long as you've done this retargeting, I can go, I think it's off screen, but I have this option, baked. Yeah, it says baked to control rig. It automatically adds an IK control rig for me. It's so great. I can delete my mocap now. Maya has a smoothing filter that's really amazing. If I select all of my nulls for my control rig, I can go to Windows, Animation Editors, Graph Editor. I could select all of these these graphs. It has a Butterworth filter. It makes mocap look buttery smooth.
Butterworth, dude.
Which
I
is
need
really
that on
cool.
everything.
I do. I wish it was on everything. And then if you're doing that editing system, again, it gives you an IK control rig really easily. If you go to the channel box layer editor tab up here, it'll by default open up in display, but we go to anim. If I want to fix the clipping, I grab my wrist, I hit create layer from selected. It adds a new layer. You can see all my keyframes are now gone, right? And I can go and start doing editing, right? The same way that we've been doing in all the other programs.
Amazing. It just comes with the IK rig for free.
Maya is like incredible. Yeah, it as long as you've done the retargeting, it like knows which bones you've put as the wrist. So it's so great. And also the undo button in Maya corrupts projects. Like it's been a bug for 30 years. It hasn't been fixed.
What?
Look at this UI. It's like insane. Maya is the best and the worst simultaneously.
That's so funny.
But without a doubt, it's the best for this. So.
I love it. Every program has its jank, you know?
Yeah.
Which is, you know, you can't get away from it. Can't get away from the jank.
Yeah.
That's, as VFX artists, 3D artists, we troubleshoot. That's all we do. We troubleshoot a lot.
Autodidacts, baby. YouTube is your best friend.
Yeah.
Get in that YouTube.
YouTube. What was that big word you used? What was that? What does that mean?
Autodidact?
Yeah,
it's like you teach yourselves things. You're able to teach yourself things.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I've never heard that word before.
CG we're all autodidacts. We all
100%.
Everyone teaches themselves everything in CG. I've found it's you
we're all like
school.
amped. Everyone's so amped and like down to explore and learn and stuff. It's
and
so
things change. Program versions change every year, and it's like you gotta continuing education. It's like we're architects. But yes,
right,
so that's Maya.
see.
I think it's unless there's questions, we could. It's so deep.
Yeah, Jack D says when you generate the rig through the add-on, the character position changed and didn't match the positioning of the motion capture.
Is that a Maya question?
I don't know. Probably. It's probably just a Maya comment. I don't know. Through the add-on. What add-on? I don't know.
That was probably a Blender question.
Maybe.
The reason that you get differences, slight differences, I mean, it should match broadly. But the thing about motion capture that's really worth knowing, regardless, and this is something at Rokoko we're always talking about, because Rokoko is inertial motion capture, which means it's not the most accurate. Even if your mocap, basically, if we go and we,
you're saying versus like all the cameras set up looking at the balls.
All the cameras, right? You do all the cameras, right? And you get the most perfect mocap ever of
Smeagol,
Thanos. What's Josh Brolin doing? Doing Thanos, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, his mocap, his body, is different proportions than the mocap is, or than the character is, rather. Look at this character. This character has way shorter legs than my motion capture. It's got different sized arms. It's got different positions of the shoulders. They will always have differences between the motion capture and the character that's relative to the differences in the scale of the joints between the skeletons, right? So if Josh Brolin claps and you get the most perfect mocap ever, but then you retarget that onto Thanos, whose arms are 2 feet longer than Josh Brolin's, proportional to his body, Thanos' mocap looks like this now because his forearms are just longer, right? So so a lot of the things that you'll see where the mocap is you retarget it and the character looks different slightly. It's because the character's proportions are different, and that's why you get foot sliding often. In Blender, you're gonna get foot sliding because the hip height relative to the ground is different in the mocap and your character. Like Maya is the only program where you never get foot sliding. It's just one of the amazing things about Maya. It's because it's doing a million things in the back end that you don't see that help with foot sliding. Unreal, we're gonna run into foot sliding. Every other system, you're gonna have foot sliding, which is why it's nice to know how to do mocap editing, using IK control rigs. I don't know if that answers the question.
No, but that was good though, because that was not even something that we talked about yet.
Yeah, but that will be a thing.
Yeah, that's a thing. We can maybe get into
sliding.
it in Unreal.
Yeah,
with the control rigs.
Yep.
But let's see.
I'm gonna open up Unreal in the meantime.
Yeah, go for it. If you guys don't have any Maya, okay, can you go over Maya retargeting once again? Nah, I mean, it's like kind of.
I would just go check out my tutorial. It's
linked
so
below.
clean.
It's linked below, right?
It's gonna be better than this. Yeah, it's linked below.
Okay.
And again, you go to the Rokoko YouTube channel, and here it is, actually, the Maya one. But if you go to the main YouTube channel for Rokoko, this is the playlist, Ultimate Retargeting Workflows. Boom. Right here, and Maya is actually the first one in it. And I go through character definition. I go through fixing the namespace issue, which can be a thing. We go through the retargeting.
It's the whole
then
thing.
We go through the control rig, the whole deal. Yeah. So this is great. It's actually one of the simpler ones, Maya. But yeah.
So shall we get into Unreal here? How are you doing? Do you need a break? Do you need?
I'm doing great, man.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
I'm good. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I know I'm just talking. How's my ramble factor? I feel like
no, you're good. I'm keeping up, and I think if I'm keeping up, then so are people in the chat. But I will also be doing. How's the chat doing? Thumbs ups if you guys are hanging in. If you guys are enjoying this. Thankful for Sam being here, giving us all this good info, helping you guys make your art look good. I'm
gonna be doing live streams every Thursday. I do a live stream 11 a.m. PST on Thursdays on the Rokoko YouTube channel. We're gonna spend every week doing this project. If people have questions, I will be there live. Come and ask. We can get into it.
Amazing.
To the best of my ability, that's always the caveat, because there's so many things I don't know.
Sweet. No, that's great. So yeah, you got Thursdays on Rokoko. I got Fridays here.
Boom.
And we're all just freaking helping each other out and making awesome art. I love it, dude.
Oh, man.
We got some thumbs ups in chat, guys. I appreciate that. Nice. Good stuff.
Cool.
Very good stuff. We're gonna hit Unreal right now. We're gonna dive in here and talk about all the things we've been talking about: defining, retargeting, editing, and all the specific ways that it goes down in Unreal. Sotomonte, could you move my big head once again? Because there's gonna be a lot of stuff going on down here that my big old head is just gonna be blocking the whole time.
Will do.
But Sam, you wanna get into it?
Yeah, let me talk for another 30 minutes straight. I'm so sorry. I feel
get some water. Do you have water?
No, I got water. I've had a boatload of coffee. I'm good, man.
All right.
Yeah. No, it's not a complaint about how I'm feeling. It's a complaint. I just feel like I'm just talking so much, but I guess that's good. Okay. So Unreal is, again, I know I keep saying this, but we just put out a bunch of two new tutorials on the Rokoko channel covering retargeting in Unreal. They're an hour long each. One is for general retargeting, one is for metahumans. And that's because there are two main ways to do mocap retargeting when it comes to Unreal. And so it's a little bit different than the other program. So that's why they're longer, but there's so much good information in there. And there's also links to some free resources that we're gonna be using for control rigs, which is really cool. Unreal finally has good control rig workflows, which is really awesome. So I think we'll start by just saying, similar to the other softwares, we are not gonna be using this. If we go to the template and we go to the sequencer, right? Shift C to go to the camera in the sequencer. We're not going to be using this guy as our mocap base. This guy is there mainly as a reference. Again, I might be wrong. Maybe some people are using this animation, this guy right here, to do your retargeting to. But what we're really going to be doing, and what we're going to be doing right now, is if we go into the Eternal Ascent files in content, and we go down to mocap, here we have the mocap.
Hey Sam, one sec.
And it's
1 sec.
Yeah.
So we are lagging a little bit. Stream is lagging. So maybe we hang for like a minute or two and we see if it doesn't fix itself, because this is good stuff that we want to touch on. Let's see. All right, y'all. Let's see if the internet fixes itself.
Stop. We're lagging.
Come on, YouTube. Yeah, I'm not getting the warning anymore.
I'm playing it just for reference.
Cool. Yeah, you guys should be seeing smooth butter. What is it, Butterworth?
Butterworth filter. Isn't that a great name for a smoothing filter?
Butterworth. It sounds like...
It's very un-Maya. It's like super cool.
I love it.
Butterworth. It's so descriptive.
Okay, we're back. We're back.
Okay.
We're in, let's see what's time. Get these chapters.
I'm gonna go back.
125, 19. Let's do it. So we're in Unreal. Let's restart without the lag. How you doing?
We're in Unreal. Okay. And what we're talking about is we are not using what's in the scene to do our mocap retargeting. Instead, we're using, if you go into the Eternal Ascent files in content, there's this mocap folder, and Clint has already provided you with the animation on the UE4 mannequin and the UE5 mannequin. Now, this animation obviously has this weird, moment when it's adjusting to the spot. You just have to fix that in sequencer, right? We'll go through that, right? But here's the animation. Yeah, it's already set up. Well, it won't be set up when we use it on our character, actually. We're going to have to do this because this is the animation we're going to be using. Now, the reason that it's so cool that this animation is already on the UE4 and the UE5 mannequins is that it means that this is already compatible with any character that is using a UE4 or UE5 mannequin skeleton. Now, if you go to the Epic Marketplace, for example, and you are getting your character, maybe you've made your character, maybe you're using a character you've purchased from the Epic Marketplace, maybe you're using a character that you purchased from another marketplace that was rigged with the UE4 skeleton, but any of the characters, and there's even free ones, on the UE4 market, on the Unreal Marketplace, will be rigged to be compatible with the UE4, UE5 skeletons. You can see this if you go into the character definition, description here, usually, rigged to Epic Skeleton, yes, right? It'll tell you. And if it is already rigged to the Epic Skeleton, it means we don't have to do a lot of that retargeting stuff that we were doing in the other programs. We're going to talk about how to retarget to a mixamo character, which is not rigged to an Epic Skeleton, in a little bit. But first, let's start with characters that are rigged to the Epic Skeleton. So for example, I have got a character that I purchased on the Epic Marketplace. Looks super cool. It comes with physics that already work, right? It's very nice when you have a character that is already made to work in Unreal. Now, I have to tell this character that it's compatible with the UE4 skeleton. It is, but we still have to tell it. And the way that I do that is I go and I find the skeletal mesh that I'll be using. I open it up. It usually opens up in this window right here. We're going to go to the skeleton tab. And then under Window, Asset Details, we open up the Asset Details panel. And in here you can see we have a slot, Compatible Skeletons. So there's nothing in here right now. But if I hit Add Element, I can go and I'm going to select the UE4 mannequin skeleton. That's what this character is already compatible with. I'm going to slot it in. I'm going to hit Save.
So how do you know if it's UE4 or UE5?
So it should be
both. ideally?
It should be both. No, it should be listed on if you purchased the character. It's usually listed there, but you can just try both, right?
Okay.
And just kind of go by trial by just eliminate it.
Yeah.
Yep, looks good. And so what we can do now is let me add this guy to our scene. Boom, in our scene. Add it to our sequencer here.
Uh-oh. You'll have to move me again, Soto.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, it's all good.
Yeah, we're gonna be down here a lot. But we'll add it to sequencer, right? Add it into that template that we got. And let's go to frame 0. And if there's an animation slot right here, let's hit plus. Look, EA mocap UE4 added. And if we play it, you can see it's gonna do that weird thing at the beginning when it adjusts. So we're just gonna go.
By the way, that is
and
simply for any simulations or motion blur over the. Yeah, and also
That's
it wasn't on frame. Yeah, the positioning's a little weird. You'll just have to line up the positioning. That's all.
Yeah, we're also gonna have to, because I just threw my guy in, but then you can see I just lined up the end of the animation with the end of the template timeline here, right? And he's locked in. So that is, I mean, perhaps we've gone through all the other programs, and this is really nice. If you are obviously using a UE4, UE5 compatible skeleton, that is much simpler to do, right? Look, it's already in place. It already looks good. We just have to go in and make sure this guy is actor hidden in game, or delete him. Hey, buddy. And look, we got it. Done.
Oh man.
Alt S to enable our physics. Boom. Working.
Wait.
So
Alt
great.
S enables physics?
I'm just simulating.
Alt S. That's cool.
Yeah, you can if you go up to the play.
Yeah.
And then simulate is just
Okay,
Alt
cool.
S. I'm such a noob when it comes to Unreal as well. I'm sure I'm doing things weird and wrong, but
no, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So what do you
well, it'll play when you use the movie render queue. It'll simulate. So this is just a way to simulate it beforehand. Yeah.
Clipping. How do we deal with clipping?
Clipping. Okay. Yes. Okay. Great question. So now we're getting into it here. So, okay, there's the first way to do this. Remember we talked about FK versus IK.
Yeah.
Ideally, what we want is an IK control rig. Now, Epic provides on the Epic store, if you go and you search for, let's go to control rig. We'll get this control rig mannequin UE4. This control rig only works for your mannequin. It doesn't work for a character.
That's weird.
It is weird. It's unfortunate. The UE5 one should work like for the mannequin and your character because it's more procedural, but that's okay because we have an IK control rig asset. And this is gonna, if this is confusing, again, it's all in the tutorial. I know I keep saying that, but it just, I don't,
Link below. Yeah.
Link below. But let's say we want to do it FK. It's easy to do FK, and that requires no control rig, and we just want to move this arm so it isn't clipping. That's easy. What we're gonna do is in sequencer, I've got my character here. For some reason, it's named UE4 mannequin skeleton, but whatever. It's here's my character. I've got it selected. If I right click on my character, I can go to, and where is this? Oh, golly. Edit with FK. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to right click on my character and go to edit with FK control rig. I'm going to click it. And what this is going to do is it's going to bake all this animation for the length of our timeline, no more than the length of our timeline. Very important. It will only do the in and out point on the sequencer timeline. That's what it's doing. I'm gonna hit create. And look, it gave us this FK control rig that now, and Unreal 5 has this whole new animation mode layout where here we've got our rig here. Look, if I wanna grab this arm, upper arm, Oh no, upper arm left. That's the left one. And I want to change it. Look, we can change it. Again, look at, I have already got keyframes on this upper arm. So if I make a change, nothing's going to happen. We need to add that layer again, right? Again, these systems are the same and everything is just how you do it is different. So we need to, on the FK control rig right here, plus additive.
So it's an
And look,
additive
now
track.
we have
Perfect.
additive track, same deal, right? We've got a layer, it's got no keyframes on it. That means that we can do additive animation. Boop, add a keyframe.
Beautiful.
Wait, did it
I think
work?
so.
Yeah, it's changed. If we want to do, do keyframe over time, there we go. Now the arm should like go up. So there you go. So that's the principle to do mocap editing when it comes to FK, right? And again, which is kind of annoying. Let's say we want to fix these. And what the great thing about this layer system is always, of course, I can delete this layer if things go terribly wrong and like be reset,
Yes.
which is always so nice. Let me, hold on. Okay, yeah, no keyframes on here. So, but let's say I want to fix my foot sliding, which I have very slight foot sliding because this character is very close to the original mocap. But you can see there is foot sliding, or maybe I've got a rock here in my scene, and right, I need to adjust the position of the foot. Well, going FK is going to be pretty annoying because we're going to have to go, okay, there's a big rock right here. So when this foot lands, I need to, okay, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to move the thigh up, and then I'm going to have to go and find the calf and set a keyframe for the calf. And as this goes up, I need to rotate it back down and set a totally doable, just annoying, right?
Not ideal.
So not ideal. What you want is an IK control rig system. So let's delete this layer, FK, and I'm actually going to have to just delete this and drag him back. Shift 1 to go back to this normal mode here. I deleted him out of sequencer because it just got messy. I'm going to re-add him back into sequencer. I'm going to re-add the mocap. I'm going to, sorry, I need to go and make my guy visible again so I can position my fellow in the right spot. I'm just doing the same thing we did at the beginning to add the motion capture to my guy. Put him in the right spot, right? Let's get him in here. Here we go. Great, looks good.
Yeah.
He's in the right spot. Boom, looks awesome. Okay, so now what we're gonna go do is use a control rig that is free. It was made by a Rokoko Discord, Alberto Flores, super nice. He made this amazing control rig asset that you can use to add to any UE4 compatible character, and it automatically works with any UE4 compatible character. So following the workflow that we've done so far, you can find this download. It's a .zip. It's in the Rokoko tutorial.
It's linked below.
But yeah, it's linked below. It'll give you this folder. And what we're going to do is we are going to go and add this folder. We're going to go show in Explorer. This is the folder of my project that I'm working in right now, right? This is the content folder of the project I'm currently in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to add the Rokoko resources folder in here.
Into content. Cool.
Into content. As soon as I do that, do I have two versions of this open? Yeah. Jesus. But as soon as I do that, you can see Rokoko resources. We got this folder in here, and we've got this mannequin control rig auto setup. So I'm just opening it up. I like to open it up, compile it, just to make sure everything's working correctly. Oh, I probably shouldn't have hit save. Now we have to wait for it to save.
By the way, guys, if you have any tips that we're not hitting right now, or any like, hey, this is good to know, leave it as a comment in this video. Please leave it as a comment, because I want this to be a great resource for people to branch off from and go find the answers to their problems. So please do that. I see a lot of helpful stuff here in chat, so if you leave it as a comment, that'll be very, very helpful, guys. I appreciate it. Sweet. We're good to go. We're compiled.
Good to go. We're compiled. So we've got this resources folder added. And again, because this is a UE4 compatible character, now when I right click on my character in sequencer and I go to bake to control rig, look, I've got this mannequin control rig I can bake to, and I'm going to create. It does the same thing. It bakes it down, right? And look at what it did. It automatically added all of these nulls. Oh.
This is the one Fabricio used, right? Or was it another one?
This is not, but it's similar. This is for UE4 compatible characters, right? The one that Fabrizio used was a mixamo control rig one, which we're going to talk about when we do this for a mixamo character. But same deal, right? I've got IK controls, so great. If I want to do actual edits, I don't like these keyframes, right? We got to add that additive layer. This is my mannequin control rig layer. Let's hit plus additive. Let's make sure that it's the entire time here. And now I can go in and I can start doing much easier edits. So I got this foot and I've got a rock in my scene that he steps on actually. Boom, just move that up, add a keyframe. So easy.
And then go back.
Look, it sits right there. And okay, at the second one, there is no rock. So I need to have it go back, add a keyframe, go copy this original keyframe. Oh, I cut it. That was not good. Right click, copy, paste. So way easier. That would be a rock, right? And then it goes back to normal. So much easier using IK control rigs whenever you can to do things that are custom for your editing, right? And again, if I don't like any of this, I can always just delete these, and I've got the original animation. Yeah, super cool. There's also a function in this particular control rig. I'm not going to show it off because I want to get to your project and playing around, and we still have more Unreal stuff to go through in a second. But you can slave the left and right hands together. So really cool if you wanted to have a character waving a flag, you can just animate the left hand waving and then slave the right hand to it, and it will just follow. Go check out the tutorial for how to do that. It's really cool and easy, and it's a unique feature of this control rig.
Sweet. Okay, so that's UE4. Is it UE5 time? How do you feel?
Yeah, UE5 is the same deal. It's
and
the
when
same,
I say,
it's the
by
same.
the way, when I say UE4, UE5, obviously we're in UE5 right now.
Yes.
We're talking UE4 mannequins, UE4 rigs, right?
Yeah. Let me delete this. Yeah, if I had a UE5 compatible character instead, I would just go, when I'm setting up my mesh in that asset details panel, I just would set this to be it's kind of hard to see them, but this is the UE4 one. This is the UE5 one. I would just set it to say, hey, you're compatible with the UE5 one. And then when you go into sequencer, you'll see this animation show up. So it's the same process. If you have characters that are compatible with the UE4 or the UE5 skeleton, really makes it easy in Unreal if you are working with characters that are already compatible to these skeletons. And the way that they're, like in Unreal, the reason that you have this system of compatibility is because it's a game engine, right? So like on the Unreal Marketplace, there's tons of assets that are animation assets, first person shooter, whatever. So it's all set up so that all those animations are done on the mannequin. And that's why so many characters are natively compatible with the mannequins, because it means that if you're setting up a game, I can just use these animation assets from the mannequin on my character. It's very circular. I know when I'm talking, it can get really confusing, but
No. Where I'm following 100%.
okay,
Yeah, no worries.
cool.
So do we want to do a UE5 character and show the control rig there, or like get people as far as that, or what do you want to do
I
here?
think it's better to look at how we would do a mixamo character.
Let's
because
do
a
it.
mixamo character is a different way of doing this. So let's go, and we're gonna go grab that same mixamo character, and we create a folder, mixamo character, and I'm gonna go import that same fellow that we were using. Taurus mixamo rigged. When I'm importing it, I want to import the mesh, right? I don't need any animations. Import all. So here I've now got, oh god, it's like a different size. So this is a whole thing. Should be okay. Oh no, it was the right size. But here I've got my mixamo character. Now, obviously, this character, it has a mixamo skeleton.
Yes.
And not only that, it's in a T-pose. So very different from your Unreal characters. The way that we do retargeting to custom characters that are not compatible with the UE4, UE5 mannequin is by using the IK retargeting system. Now, this is a new system in Unreal. It makes it easier than ever to do retargeting in Unreal, but it is a little annoying, especially compared to the plug and play system that we just looked at, but it is very doable. And the way that we're going to do this is we are going to right click in our characters folder, and we're going to we're just going to search for IK. You can just right click and then search for IK, right? We want to create an IK rig. I'm going to name this rig IK mixamo character. I like to put IK in there so that I can find it to search in the search bar. But we're going to create this IK asset here. Now, this is what it looks like when I open up that IK asset. And under preview skeleton mesh, I'm going to add my mixamo character.
Yeah.
Here we go. And what we're going to do now is a process. You might want to move Clint down now because we're going to be up in this left quadrant now.
Yeah, Soto, if you can move me. Scoop my booty. On
This
down.
is a more annoying process, but it's also easier than it's ever been. So it's a bit of a mixed bag. But basically what we need to do is we're going back to that character definition stage, right? Remember that character definition stage in all the other programs?
Stage 1.
Same thing in Unreal, right? Stage 1. We need to tell Unreal, hey, these bones are these bones. So the way that we do that in Unreal is for the hips, we've got our whole skeleton hierarchy here. I'm going to right click on the hips, set retarget root. So this is the root bone for our character. Then I'm going to go to all my spine bones. I'm going to shift click, select all my spine bones, right click, new retarget chain. I'm going to get this pop up. Chain name, spine, that's what we want, add chain. And now we've added a chain down here in this IK retargeting panel. It says the name of the chain, which is spine. It says the start bone and the end bone, right? And we're gonna go in, now we're gonna select the neck and the head, new retarget chain, head. We got a new chain. Then we're gonna do the left arm, left shoulder, down to the left arm. And so these are all the different chains in your character, right? We got the spine, we got the neck, we got the left arm, we got the right arm, we got the left leg, we got the right leg. New retarget chain, left arm, add chain. I'm not gonna do it for the fingers because I don't want to right now. We're trying to move a little faster. So I'm gonna do it for the right arm, new retarget chain, right arm. If you do it for the fingers, it has a tendency to not name them correctly. See, this is the middle finger, but it doesn't say left middle, it says left arm. So you might need to go in and if you're doing the fingers, like type in left middle. And I'll talk about why we're naming them this way in a second. But now I'll do the left leg, which is the left up leg, all the way down to the left toes, new retarget chain, left leg, and we'll do the right leg. New retarget chain, add chain. So we got these chains that we just created. And for the hip, we set as retarget root. So this is now done. We're gonna save this. And the great thing a little bit about what is already in this project file for you is that if we go to characters and we go to UE4 mannequin, there's already that IK rig set up for you. And this is, remember, the mocap is on this guy. So we need to tell Unreal, define this guy, define our character, so that during retargeting, Unreal knows, hey, left arm to left arm, right? Right arm to right arm. We're telling it how to do this process. Now, this is already set up for us, but the way that Unreal does it is a little bit different. It only does for the left arm from the upper arm to the hand. So I'm going to go in and do it from the shoulder or the clavicle bone. I'm going to change this on the left arm. For the right arm, I'm going to change it to the right clavicle. So I'm moving fast. Tutorial link down below. I'm changing the right and left arms because, and then there's a bunch of twist bones. I'm deleting all these twist bones. We don't need these. There's actual clavicle dedicated chains. Don't need those. So once I've deleted those, I've made changes to the left and right arms. This is now set up. I don't need to go and define each bone. And that brings us, we've now defined our mocap. We've defined our character, right? So now we're going to go and we're going to create an IK retargeter asset.
Okay.
Boom.
So you've set
IK
up the
retarget.
character in the mocap to be speaking the same language, and then this is going to be the bridge.
Yep. This is the retargeting
Step 2,
time.
retarget.
Yes, exactly. So we open this guy up and source, remember it's the same nomenclature from the other program, source and target. Source is your mocap, target is your character. So source is going to be our IK UE4 guy, right? Remember the mocap is already in our project on this guy. We could use the 5 as well. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to use the 4. And then our target is our mixamo character. Now they come in on top of each other. You can use this target mesh offset to just make them be side by side. And if we go to chain mapping, you can see same thing that we had in Blender, right? We got our source chains and our target chains. And so it's nice when these are, remember when we were setting up our mixamo character and it was like spine, head, left arm. If these match, it'll automatically be set up together, but you could always go in and change these if you needed to. But basically these chains are talking to each other. They are defined and they're talking to each other. And that means that under Asset Browser, you can see we have this EA mocap, which is the mocap for the contest. Double click it.
Hey.
Look, it's working. It's retargeting. Now, some things are wrong here. Look at how weird this looks.
Okay.
And that's because if we notice, I mean, class, what do we notice about these two things?
One is not like the other.
One is not like the other, right? This is why it's so important for us to both be in a T-pose, because this animation is being copied, but the relative differences between the base poses are throughout the entire animation, right?
Yeah.
So what we need to do is just correct this. And what we can do is we go up here and these 3 little hamburger dots, edit retarget pose. We're going to go to source. I like doing it on source. Source means this guy. And I'm just going to go and I'm going to move his arm into a T-pose. A little bit annoying to do. Sorry for the fast motions. But let's put him in a T-pose. Do the same thing for the upper arm. And I wish that we didn't have to do this stuff, but this is just the way that it works in Unreal. It's a little bit messy. And I'm also gonna move these arms forward a little bit.
Okay.
I'm eyeballing this, but you can get more deep. And again, I go through it in the tutorial a little bit, but
can you move the feet together a little bit too?
Yeah, I could. I want them to match. So it looks like on our character they are a little bit closer. So I'm going to turn off snapping and just like maybe I'll make this a little bit closer. Yeah. The closer they are, the more accurate this system is going to work. So like you can see there are differences here in the hands. I should be going in and doing this too. I'm just not going to right now because I don't think we need to for the purposes of this.
We get it.
But the mocap will be different by the amount that these are different, right? It's all relative to the base pose. But anyway, now that we've done this, oh, there we go, done.
Yeah, so generally looks way better, right? Obviously, we didn't do the fingers for time.
Yeah, I didn't do the fingers. Remember, you'd have to go in and make those finger chains in the IK rig. Super annoying. You only have to do it once, though, and it just is what it is. And
sweet.
Yeah, I mean, this is, why I think a lot of people who use Unreal, they're also Blender users. They're also Cinema users, and maybe you do your retargeting in those programs and you bring it over, right? If you don't want to deal with this. This isn't that bad, but you can see it's a little annoying.
Yeah,
but once we've done this,
how do you get it in the sequence?
what we do from here is we select this animation and we have to export selected animations. I'm just going to export it to my top content folder. There we go. You can see if I pull it up, look, I got my animation on my guy. And at this point, we're going to follow that same process we normally do. We are going to drag our mixamo character into the scene.
How do you know the difference between those three of the same looking dudes? You know what I mean? Go back to your content browser, your characters.
Oh, yeah.
How do you, I always get mixed up, they're the same to me.
Yeah. So they are the same in a lot of ways. They're different. The way that you can think about these is they're different sides to this same mesh. So if we open up this one, the difference is, let me go here. It will open this up. You can see that we're in the skeletal mesh tab. If we click on this, that is just opening up this one, the skeleton one. See, skeletal mesh skeleton. And then this one is the physics one. So if we click on this, I'm off screen. If we click on this tab, that would be the same as if we opened up.
Oh, so it's all the same thing, but just different windows?
It's just different. It's different tabs of the same model, and you do different things. And right here, there's an animation tab.
So how do you know which one to drag in? Which one's the right one to drag in?
The one to drag in is not the physics one. You can usually do either the skeleton or the skeletal mesh. I always do the skeletal mesh. The skeletal mesh is the most one that's just like your model with there's a skeleton in there, but
it's the mesh.
It's just it's the overarching one essentially. That's
good to know.
So I drag in that one, but I could probably drag in the physics one. It wouldn't matter. But once we drag it in, I add it to my sequencer. I go to plus animation. Look, here's the exported animation from the IK retargeter. And we do the same thing we did before. There we go. And we'd have to go and where is that guy?
Match it up. And then you could do the whole additive stuff as well.
And then we could do the whole additive stuff with the FK. Editing, or because this is a mixamo character, there is actually a mixamo IK control rig. And you can see this guy's got super long legs. So we got real differences happening here on these stairs, right? Which again, we could always move the stair or the object up to match. But let's say we wanted to do IK retargeting on this guy. There is a, and this is linked in the description, from Gabriel Pava on ArtStation, a mixamo-based control rig. So if I drag, so here it is. I downloaded the .zip, right? It gave me this folder. If I drag this into our content folder, like I dragged that Rokoko resources folder in.
Yeah.
Oh no, autosave.
Oh, good.
There we go. Because this is a mixamo character we used, go back to my content browser. Control rig folder. This is the folder we just dragged in. You can see if I can open up this mixamo control rig. Take a hot second for it to open. Hopefully it didn't crash. Here it goes. In the preview scene, I can just select my Mixamo character. And look at this. Ooh, mama, IK.
Oh, wow.
Control rig. This I've found really only works for characters that like you directly like. This character when I downloaded from Mixamo and imported it right in.
Yeah.
I've pulled it into Cinema and then exported it from Cinema and then tried to pull it into here, and like something changed with the naming convention somewhere along the way. So sometimes it like won't work automatically, but if you're pulling it directly from Mixamo, it will just automatically work, which is so freaking crazy, because then same way we did with the UE4 skeleton control rig, I can right click, bake to control rig. Oh, why is it not showing up? I can uncheck this filter asset by skeleton if it doesn't show up for whatever reason. Mixamo control rig, bake it, and then we do our additive layer, right?
Sweet.
Make sure that this layer is long, and now we got weird leggies happening, right? So let's go in and fix those. This guy right here. So let's add a keyframe. Boom.
Oh, dude, yes.
So amazing, really incredible. And this is a shout out to Fabrizio Moraes, winner of 2 of the Clint challenges.
The only
He
one
showed
who's
me.
won 2.
Yeah,
Insane.
he showed me how this works.
That's sick.
Super cool. And this is a free asset. Thank you, Gabriel Pava, whoever you are, distributing free control rigs. So awesome. So all the same things we talked about apply here.
Amazing.
There you go. That's
Dude.
it.
All right, look, I'm gonna switch us back to a little full screen situation. Oh, that was
That's
crazy.
you just got the yeah, I know it's a lot.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's it though. That's
But-
that's the friggin'
Yeah.
stream for the ages, because we touched on Blender, we touched on C4D, we touched on Maya, we touched on Unreal, both the UE4 mannequin or skeleton rather also applies to UE5, and a Mixamo skeleton.
Yeah.
Holy crap. We talked on, what is it? Defining the 3 steps to retargeting. Define, retarget,
Yes.
and then edit. And we talked about that. Oh, not we. Let's be honest here, guys. Sam schooled us all today.
Merch coming soon.
Oh.
Define, retarget, edit.
Yes, I want to see it, dude. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Do you want to do, let's see, we're at the point now where I think a push-up break, a jumping jack break of some sort could help shake the bones a little bit. And
Hacky sack break.
dude, down. You wanna play some hacky sack?
Got my MoGraph.
The Camp
Camp
MoGraph.
MoGraph.
Yes. Yeah, boy.
Yes.
All right, so
I'm so terrible at it, but we'll try.
you got your hacky sack shoes on?
I don't.
All right.
I'm going bare. I got my slippers on actually. Maybe I'll do on my slippies.
Here's what we'll do. We'll leave it to chat.
Yeah, push-ups or hacky.
Yeah, what? Let's see. Let's do a poll. And then I think we'll just take, I don't know, 15. Let's take, okay, how about this? We'll take a turn each. I'll start because you did a lot of talking. Not that that's a bad thing. You just need a break. You need a break. I'll take the ball here for a second and show off my Unreal scene, where I'm at in my render, and then we'll pass it.
Try to get a character. You should try to get a character and see
Okay.
if you remember what we just talked about. And
Yeah.
if you have questions, let's go through it. Let's try and like get a character into your scene.
Perfect.
Use a control rig
Yes.
and like see you do it.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good. And then we'll switch over to you. See where you're at, because you're working on art too for this, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't really have much to show. I mean,
okay.
besides getting 8 million mocapped characters.
It's cool. We could exit, or we could close it out on that. Just show us where you're at and like what you're thinking. Maybe you don't have to if you don't want to. It's all
No,
good.
I'd love to. I'd love
Amazing.
to. Yeah, I'll use my time. Like I mean, I don't think I can win, but I just because I'm a part of the company that's helping to sponsor. But I want to be. I've never made top 100. I want it.
Yeah.
And I got you,
It's a
so
good
I'm
goal.
just gonna abuse my position to get advice from you.
Perfect. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Let's put a poll to chat and see what workouts we want to do. All right, what workout shall we do? Question mark. Okay, we got. Throw me some suggestions. What do you got? Push-ups. That's one, right? Squats.
Push-ups. Squats are good. I
need?
could use some squats. How about like could stretching be in there? Mobility, yeah, yoga. Let's do some
That's a
tree
good one.
pose.
Or hacky sack.
Or hacky.
And I'm gonna start this poll because we need it. We've been sitting here for 2 hours.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I gotta say, man, I'm pretty good with my posture or the way that I normally sit at my desk, but when I'm working on trying to get my stairs looking right for Eternal Ascent the last few nights, I must lean forward.
Yeah,
in a terrible
that
way.
editor's hunch, dude.
Like, it hurts my back.
In the back of your
No. But I'm
neck,
so
it's like over your head.
yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, we need it.
Posture is
All
everything.
right, here, let's
bro.
just do this. Do you have a standing desk or can you? Where are you at? Okay.
I don't. But I can kind of.
Get a little heart opener. Get the
I can do one of
clasp
these.
going. Oh, chest. Oh boy.
Here, let's.
Everyone on stream at this point.
Sorry, Soda. Hopefully, I'm not screwing up the.
No, you're good. You're good. Join us in these stretches. Join us in these workouts. We've all been sitting down for the last 2 hours. Let's do a little stretch. Oh yeah. Little side stretch.
Oh,
It's good. Yeah, dude.
I'm not.
Just.
I can't believe it's been 5 years since 2000. Like, I'm getting so old.
I know. Just two. This is the
1999
stream.
was 5 years ago. Can you believe that?
Wait, what? What'd you say?
In my head, it's 99, man.
That's funny. Imagine we just did this for the whole stream. Just two grown men just stretching like this. Just generally stretching.
Be
not
good.
Like, all right. The chat has spoken. They want push-ups, and then I think we can get some hacky sack after that. And then we'll get into some art, and then we'll close it out. What kind of push-ups do you want to do? You want to do tricep push-ups? Do you want to do the hardest push-ups? Normal?
No, I
wide?
can't do diamond push-ups. I gotta do my normal wide.
All right. What?
I was trying to do 100 a day for a little while. That was
Dude.
my thing, and which I could not. I mean, I can do, but yeah.
That's what's his name? Friggin' that anime. dude.
Everyone. Yeah, it's like a thing. I
100
think
push-ups?
it's just a good
100
goal.
sit-ups? Yeah, it's a great goal.
I'm trying to do 50 a day now. I'm not cocky. I do not have good form.
You call the number. Tell us what's the number. We're doing them.
Like
12. Okay.
12. Man.
We're doing 12.
Like what?
If you guys join us, let's do 12. All right. I'll see you back here.
Okay,
And then
yeah.
we'll do hacky sack. 12 push-ups.
Okay. Let's do
Yeah,
it. Good form.
yeah,
Be
absolutely.
strong.
Yeah. Yep.
That was good.
For those of you in chat who joined us on those push-ups, let me get a thumbs up, please. I want to see. No, you know what? Give me the muscle, the arm. Give me something. Let me see. Where y'all at? Where my push-up people at? We got hacky sack next. Let me throw on my shoes because it's impossible without shoes.
Well, yeah.
I'll be right back.
I have my
BRB.
slippers. Cozy, fuzzy slippers. Here, I will entertain. Let's see if. I was watching Clint do this on the stream last week, and he's so good at it.
It's just a lot of practice, man. Every day I would try and wake up and play hacky sack for a little bit.
Where will I go?
All right, let's see if I can get.
Let's see how many things I can
Let's see.
knock over. 30. If I can get 10.
Nope. It's hard, dude. It's hard.
So hard. Where's my? I just need a soccer ball.
15. Not bad.
4.
Four.
Not bad.
Four's good, dude. Four's
Yeah.
good. All right, here. Let's keep it up. Keep up that blood flow. Oh.
That's pretty good.
Oh. All right. Good sesh. Good sesh.
Yeah.
Good sesh. All right. I feel rejuvenated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can get a character in my UE scene. Let's see if I can take what
Let's do it.
Sam learned
Yeah.
or taught me and apply it. All right. Let me reconfigure.
Trying to get back. So.
Okay. Alrighty. Ba-boom. 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 Just doing a little reconfiguring. Dude, this... I'm watching this live stream right now. It's just us playing hacky sack. Is the goofiest looking.
I know.
That's so
I know.
funny.
I'm just pleased I didn't knock over like water all over my computer.
That's a good move. Yeah, good move. All right, let's hop in.
Let's do it, man. Let's see what you got.
Okay.
Teacher is watching.
So, let me move this one.
Good. I'm bringing this over to my main screen so there's not an infinity. Just a heads up.
Sure. All right. So, this is the scene I got so far.
Looking awesome, man.
Yeah.
Oof.
I got like this
Is that easy fog for the? What's the deal with the clouds?
No, it's just like VDB cloud pack thing.
Oh, cool.
What was that shortcut for hopping into the camera and out of the camera?
Oh man, Shift C. Yeah, I know, right? That one's good. That's a good one. You have to be in. You have to have the sequencer selected or something. So sometimes it won't work. Like if you're in the content tab, yeah.
But yeah, these are my photo scan mountains from that video where I was like how to photo scan a mountain.
Yeah.
Kit bash assets here I'm playing with like these different things. Little kit bash pirate pack.
Yeah. Cargo is amazing. I don't want to like.
It's the best.
I won't. But kit bash is great. I'm okay brown nosing kit bash. They're awesome. They're so lovely. Cargo is actually really cool. The very first version of it, you had to import that test castle, which was super annoying. But now they fixed that. It's like it's so great.
It's insane.
I love it.
Yeah, like
they're adding vehicles, the interiors, like
you can grab like anything. So like this enchanted castle, download, and then you make sure that like your Unreal is referencing it. Boom, you turn the cargo light on. Bing. And then you should be able to just like once this is done downloading, do a little bit of whoop whoop. By the way, guys, y'all get 20% off cargo. Right now with the link in the description.
Jump on it now when you got the discount.
Yeah, Cargo Pro.
Is it?
And that should pop in here. We should have a giant castle up here. Momentarily. It should be importing.
Yeah, it takes a second sometimes or whatever, but it's so great. I love how I always thought of Kitbash for big buildings, but they have like barrels You know, like I go to Quixel and so often you want something that you see in the collections photo that they have on Quixel, you know, and then it's like there isn't the thing,
Yeah, you can
and
choose, like,
this has
small
so many good,
size.
like, yes, like these little guys, amps, like they have
That's so
every
cool.
instrument
Love it.
is on Cargo. It's
Right.
great. They have one gun. I don't like guns.
We'll see how long this takes
Wow,
to
which-
import, but
Yeah, that makes
shoot. So yeah, you know, like this like giant grassland is literally one mesh from Quixel. It's called like they have a couple
yeah.
of these and they've been adding them recently, these giant fields or these massive scans. This thing back here, all these mountains, same deal. It's just one photo scan
Wow.
from Quixel. It's ridiculous. I'm using what do you call it? Ultra Dynamic Sky plugin for the lighting up here. These VDBs are like they're just like generic cloud VDBs, and I'm using, like, I figured out how to do that with like the heterogeneous volume. It's such a weird name. But I followed some Winbush tutorials to get that going, and I'm writing a whole list of like, I had this troubleshooting log going. I started doing this where like every project, when I run into a problem, I will write the problem and then the answer, and then it helps me write tutorials, and it also just helps me like troubleshoot my own crap when I'm like 5 projects ahead. Like, you know, I solved that problem in 5 projects ago, but then since I have a log of it, you know, I can just boom, it's right here. There's the answer.
That's great. That's very organized of you.
I just started doing it like a couple projects ago, and it's a game changer for sure. All right, because I imported it twice. It's importing twice now.
Of course.
What else? Other things to mention.
What is your what is the mocap? What's the guy? What's the deal?
Like the character,
know
which
yet?
character am I gonna do? I'm gonna try and bring in the pirate just as a test.
Yeah.
So I wish this was easier to like find your stuff. Pirate?
You can.
There you
Yeah.
go. Cool.
You can. Yeah. It's also good. If you go to category, you can just select characters.
Okay, cool. Got it. Oh, he already exists. I already brought him in. Right, so that's how you do it. You go to your library, you add him to your project, you choose the project, right? But since he's already added, all right, materials.
Assigning material 01, 02. Yeah, and again, any I mean, there's a lot of, usually on the marketplaces, if you're getting your characters in the marketplaces, sometimes they'll say game ready. Usually what that means is that they are rigged. It's either an Unreal or a Unity skeleton. Oftentimes there will be an Unreal skeleton. And although you won't be able to add it from the Epic launcher, the way that you just added that pirate, which is very nice, you can import it and it should work with the UE4 mannequin workflow or the UE5 mannequin workflow and that control rig. That should all work. And then anything from the marketplace will work almost definitely with the mocap that you've already, you know, it all worked natively in the first
Sweet.
example that we went through, which is
Sweet.
nice. Same thing with metahumans. They work natively with the UE5 mannequin metahumans.
Heck yeah, that's good to know.
Yeah.
All right, if this thing doesn't import, just because we're on stream right now.
Force quit. You can switch to mine. You want to see mine?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do
opened
that.
up mine.
Let's flip over. All right, we're ready for you whenever you're ready.
I'm up. I'm
All
up,
right,
baby.
Let's do it. Ooh.
I mean, this is the most, well, whoa. I mean, speaking of cargo, this is one cargo asset that I dropped in. So what my plan is I am going to, and maybe you can tell me if this is allowed. I think it is. I want to extend these stairs out so there's a wider fit around here.
So I think the main thing is to maintain the
yeah,
the, what is it called? The visual weight. So
exactly.
I wouldn't go too far out with them, but
Yeah,
I do
just
think
a little bit more, maybe.
a little bit is cool. Like I'd say within, as long as you're staying within like 80%-ish of
Good
like
to know.
the vibe.
Yeah.
But yeah, people are filling it out in nice ways. They're making it unique to themselves. As long as they're not going like completely off to the left side of frame, you know?
Totally.
I think there's a little wiggle room there, yeah.
Okay. Good to know. This is the reason I agreed to the stream is just I want. But yeah, I'm gonna have, it's like a guy, but then there's gonna be someone up front like protecting him from guys coming down the stairs. That's kind of what I got.
Oh, cool.
And then yeah, kind of a Warhammer vibe, I think.
Oh, yeah. I love
I've got some cool monk guys, so that's my plan.
What are your plans for the background?
I think like just a lot of Cargo has these amazing Neo. I'm kind of my main reference is from the new Space Marine 2 trailer that came out, which is so amazing.
Well, okay.
But it's just like they're fighting among the ruins of these neo-Victorian kind of ruins, and so on Cargo has these. Cargo has this neo-Victorian and Victorian kind of. Here, let me go off the side. So I think I'm just gonna grab a bunch of those, and then Ultra Dynamic Sky is so freaking amazing.
It's the best.
And Foucher, I never know how to say his name. Amazing.
William Fauché, yeah.
Our Unreal God.
Yes.
Easy Fog, and just fill it up with a bunch of. Maybe it'll be snowing. Oh, Ultra Dynamic Sky has Ultra Dynamic Weather too, which is really super cool. But yeah, a lot of these type of towers, I think, in the background. This kind of vibe.
Let me get your screen back. Yeah, there you are. Cool. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, this kind of thing.
Oh, sick. Dude, it reminds me of like Dark Souls. A little bit of Dark Souls going.
Exactly. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe. Yeah, Dark Souls. Yeah, so I don't know. I think that'll be good. The mocap I got handled.
Yeah.
But it's the rest of it. Yeah.
Let me see. Dude, I think I imported like freaking 3 of the same thing.
You imported the big boy.
Yeah, I imported the biggest one 3 times on accident. So
well, here, I can keep things amusing. So I'm gonna use this. Let's say I wanted to get a guy in from my library. Where is and I want to add it to EA Sam. And I've got this cool heretic guy. I think this is gonna be my main dude. Man, so much respect for people out there who are creating their own characters. I am such a generalist. I'm such a, I'm make a collage of other people's work, which is fine, but I always have so much respect for people who are making their own characters and rigging them from scratch. It's crazy. I just don't, I'm not made that way.
Hey, Sam, when you guys, can you say when you're announcing the winners of the Rokoko challenge?
I think it's next week. Because thank you. We just had our judging panel with you and Ian and Tim Fox, which was awesome. Ian, always a blast. And so it should be next week. And then we're gonna do best breakdown and community favorites after we've announced the best render. God, there were so many good ones. It was so cool. Thank you anyone in this crowd who submitted.
It was so hard.
Really
We spent an extra hour just on the top 5, like from top 8 to top 5, like an hour just figuring that out.
It was painful, which is so nice that there were so many incredible submissions, but man, I did not envy you guys. It was really
super
hard.
Yeah. All right, so what are you doing? You bringing your skeletal mesh?
Okay, so I went and I went to my skeleton tab, assigned asset details, right? This is a good refresher for you. You're about to do this.
I'm about to do it, yeah.
My skeleton, UE4, which you can kind of see that the UE4 one is like it's kind of got a white material on it, and the UE5 has a silver. So you want to grab the UE4 for this character that I'm using, save it, and I can close this out. I'm adding him into my scene, Shift C. Oh, so great. To get out of that camera view. And now I'm going to add him into sequencer. Hit plus. Add in that EA mocap, UE4. Super easy, right? Boom, set it up. Then I just have to move him into position. So we'll set up some ultra dynamic sky. We'll get it going here in a second. We'll make this look cool.
Yeah.
But here we go. This should look okay. Let's move him up a little bit. Looks pretty good like this, I think. Yep. I'm gonna grab my template guy. I'm gonna make him hidden. I'm also gonna go hidden in game, so that when I simulate, he will actually be hidden. Another good thing in Unreal that took me a very long time to figure out. Actually, I'm gonna replace this guy with another version of the heretic.
You can just do that. You can just replace the character.
Heretic.
Oh, but you have to move it.
Yeah. Well, he's got a couple different versions of him. Yeah, no. But what I can do is also a good keyboard shortcut to know. Control E just opens up the editor for that character. I don't want this cape on my character. So I'm going to go down to, if you ever want to remove parts of a character in Unreal, it can be kind of tricky because it's usually one, it's not like in Cinema where you have a bunch of different separated meshes. If you want to do it in Unreal, which this is not news to many people, I'm sure, but you go up to the skeletal mesh tab right here. We're in skeletal mesh. Here you can see all the different materials we can highlight. But if I want to enable or disable one of these sections, here is the hood, for example. Disable that. I don't want that hood.
Dude.
I also don't want this. Is this helpful?
Very.
Yeah, I know. It took me so long to figure this out. And then you can right click, disable, and now in this mesh, those things are gone.
So helpful. So helpful. Thank you.
Yeah. And I'm hitting saving packages, so now I'm going to be in a save state for
We'll switch to me. We'll switch to me.
Yeah, switch to you. To you.
Okay. All right. Let's do this. All right. So wait, what? Oh god dang.
Just crashed?
No, it's just still going because I imported 30. I thought I was like, I imported 3 of the same one. I thought I was gonna go.
Okay, well mine's done.
Okay, all right. Switching back to you. Here we go. Freaking funny. Dude.
Okay, so we got our guy. Shift C. Look at this. It's looking pretty cool.
That's amazing.
So I think I'm gonna have him be holding, a flaming, talisman thing. He'll be holding 2 hands together, which I'm going to use the control rig workflow to set up to move the hands into position. And then he's going to be holding like this thing. So he's like a religious dude, and there's people coming down the stairs that get knocked off by his protector guy.
You want to try and get some ultra dynamic sky going?
Yeah, let's do some ultra dynamic sky, baby.
I hadn't used Williams fog stuff. Does it work with the UDS well?
Oh man, it's so. I'm gonna add it in right now. Let's go. I hate let's go. I hate that. I hate how we're all saying let's go now.
It is overused. So I get it. Yeah.
I'm gonna grab easy fog. It is overused, man. Let's party. But the way that easy fog works, which is so freaking cool. So here's easy fog. And I'm going to go back to sequencer, Shift C, get out of that thing. But I go to Easy Fog and I go to Blueprints, and it all works off of this blueprint system. And you just drag this thing in, and it's just this is it.
What?
It's
fog
just
cards?
a card.
That's literally, it's just
fog
cards?
card. It's an animated fog card.
Dude.
So you just go in and it's so amazing. And you just, I got to move this. What I've been doing actually now too, here's another hot tip. I don't know if they're hot tips, but it's something that I've been doing.
They're hot.
Go to the hamburger, and if I go to layouts, 2 pane, I want this pane to be my perspective, and then this pane can be my thing, and then I can go in and,
dude,
move this around,
good...
and it just makes it really easy.
Such a good technique, good workflow.
And let's add our ultra dynamic sky. Another blueprint based deal.
So William Fauche's Easy Fog is specifically for animated 2D fog cards.
That's all it is. It's animated 2D fog cards. It's really great. And he has wind settings. It's just noise. It's just noise things. Noise, animated noise on a card. And it just it's super cool. It just works really, really well. And then I love ultra dynamic weather. This shit blows my mind. Excuse me, I used bad words.
Oh no, potty language is allowed in moderation.
I know, potty language. Okay, ultra dynamic weather. Let's have this be. I love the snow. It looks so freaking cool. Is it snowing?
Can you get because ultra dynamic weather goes the extra level, right? Because can't you have snow accumulate on the ground and stuff?
You can. I have not figured all that stuff out because it gets pretty deep. They have great tutorials. Ultra dynamic sky, and it comes with ultra dynamic weather. It's so great if people are looking for just an easy way to kind of get stuff in their scene. Sun target. Where are you?
Wait, by moving that, it changes the direction of the sun?
You can have it set up that way. Oh god, screwed it up though.
Oh, finally.
Okay, here we go.
My Unreal is...
Yours is working? Okay, we should hop to you.
No, finish your thought. Are you just messing around at this point?
I'm just messing around.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna see if I can't get a character going. Let's do a little flippy flip. 1 second. I got 80 screens.
There we go. Got our.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we got our snow going. Freaking cool.
Yeah.
So easy.
UDS,
amazing.
Man. All right.
UDS.
So we have a giant castle. This is very fitting, actually. Let's see. There we go. This is very fitting for this scene. Holy crap.
Oh, nice. Yeah, there you go.
So
Perfect.
Cool.
I love how it comes in at the right scale,
definitely.
too.
Get it in the fog back here.
Yeah, man.
Peeking out like this.
Oh, the reveal. Oh!
Yeah, the BDB
awesome.
clouds are awesome.
Yeah. Love it.
Oh, Justin with the super chat. We might have a card draw soon. Sotomonte, I don't know if the card draw is on or not. But Justin says, since potty language is allowed, do you guys care to comment on how poo-poo time is also pee-pee time, but pee-pee time is almost never poo-poo time? That's a great...
That is gendered. So I had this, I've said this realization too, and my wife was like, not for you, man.
Oh man.
But
I'm still trying to make
what?
sense of this comment. That's what I'm trying to do.
It's that if you're pee-pee time, if you're poo-poo time, you're sitting down and you're probably peeing, I think. But if you're peeing, if you're a dude, you're not sitting down, so why are you pooping?
Dude, sometimes I will sit because I'm just trying to chill.
Well, if you're then maybe
trying to play the Switch a little bit, it's like.
But yes, it is often not yes.
But
then my wife was like,
"Wow, how we got on this subject."
But
thank you, Justin.
Yeah.
Soda, let me know if there's a card draw. I'm trying to keep my eyes peeled on both of these sides. Oh, I see. Yeah. All right, so we're in the scene. We're gonna try and get a character on here. Let's get the little pirate guy going.
Let's get him. Let's get him.
I am flying through this. All right, let's bring this down. Okay, so the way to do this, so you might want to move me up to the top left, please. And then we'll wrap this up pretty soon here. So pirate, all right, I got it comes in both. I'll probably use the UE5 because I think UE5 comes with control rig. Full or separate?
It should.
Now I can switch these
what do you
out
want?
once I get it set up, right? But
Yep. Fully hot swappable should be.
let's grab this version. So here's another weird thing. This is so weird. You see how the snapping, what is this? Surface snapping should work, right? Like he should land on the steps, but he's not. Apparently the fix for that is so dumb. I think it's a bug. If you open a new level, you make a new level and then come back into this level, it'll work. So that's weird.
There's so many things like that in Unreal still.
All right, I drag this in.
I find.
Oh, fail.
Nope. Okay, so the
Yes.
first thing we need to do is you're gonna go open up his
Open the
mesh. And although it is compatible, Control E you could do.
Okay, yep.
And we need to tell Unreal, hey, you are compatible with that skeleton. So you go to the skeleton tab, top right. Get
this
right.
one, skeleton, yeah.
Yep.
Boom.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Oh, maybe it already knows it, but still, I think you go up to Window. Asset details. Yeah, here. See, compatible skeletons, and in this case, it's the 4.
Yeah.
No, the 5.
Skeleton.
It's the 5.
All right,
yes,
got it.
Yes. And save.
All right, boom. Saved.
Now it's done. Now you drag. Yeah. Well, now I won't. Oh, shut up.
No. This is good. So I'm gonna drag it in.
No, you do it.
Let's see.
That's so annoying.
Oh.
You have to drag it on top. You have to drag it on, which makes no sense.
Oh, what the heck? All right. And we're gonna add a animation.
Yep, but there is. Yeah, so yep, that's fine. But there was already an animation track there, so I like to add it to the one that's already there. It doesn't matter.
No.
But you can delete. Yeah,
this is good.
That's what I like to do.
Thank you, keeping me on my toes.
Mm-hmm.
Then we align.
Yep. So annoying that it's never the pivot point, which is so impossible to change.
I know. I set up some hotkeys because it's like it's the worst. The anchor point business.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Looks good.
Yeah.
Looks great.
Yes, dude.
There you go.
And then how do you do the simulate? Control S?
Alt S. You might not have cloth.
Abort. To be
So
continued.
that's interesting. Yeah, because when you do movie render queue, that will happen.
It's
I
all
think.
good. It's all good. I'll figure that. It's because of the. Yeah, it's because I have it hidden versus invisible.
Yeah. Oh, right.
So I do need to turn these guys. I could probably just get these guys out, but I'm just gonna.
It's nice to keep them in.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you'll probably end up using them again.
And then, all right, so we got the pirate guy in.
Yeah.
And if I wanted to do any like tweaking, then.
So I don't know. This is something that I'm always a little unsure of. In theory, you should be able to right-click on your pirate guy and sequencer, go up to bake to control rig. Yeah, this should work. Will it work? We'll see.
Good.
This is the hit it.
Mannequin body.
Oh, yours was doing this weird thing where it didn't show you the null on screen. Yeah, why was that happening?
There it is. G key.
G. There you go. It does work. That's so awesome.
So
That's
the mannequin
really cool.
body, I just do an additive.
Yeah. Exactly. And
I brought it down.
I would drag it. Yeah.
There it is.
And so the big difference here, why this is so cool, is because for UE5 compatible skeletons, you have this control rig which snaps to your character. So this is your character has different proportions than the mannequin does. For UE4, there was never this. They didn't have this. Yeah, but look at that. So cool. Awesome.
Perfect. Beautiful.
Yeah. And I think you have to turn on IK. There's an FK IK switch. So let's say you want to do the, so this is FK currently.
Yes.
If you want to do IK, there's a switch field that you have to go find, and you have to trigger that. It's like at the top, I think. Global IK FK. I think it's at the top of the things. Anyway, it's fine in this case because you just want to.
Well, sorry, I was actually stuck here because like it's not adding the keyframe for some reason. Like when I.
When you click.
Oh wait, hold on. This guy. Oh, that's why I'm on the wrong.
You might have been on. Yeah. You were on the wrong.
Is there
field.
auto key frame in
There is. It's the left two.
This one. Auto.
That one.
Okay.
Yeah. Remember that it's on.
Yep. Copy, paste, out and in. Yeah, that's great. So the FKIK switcher.
That's at the top, I believe.
Top, where you say? What do you mean?
No, it's in the thing. It's in like this list. Go down. Or maybe it's not at the top. Okay, never mind. It should be if you type in switch into tracks, because you can search through the sequencer in that search bar. Type in switch. Yeah, see this. You need to see how it's keyed. You can actually key between IK and FK, which is really cool. So you would have to go and delete these whole tracks if you want to switch.
Which these aren't really doing anything.
So maybe for the feet, you could try doing it for the feet. Like
let's see.
Leg FK IK.
Yeah. So if I delete these keyframes.
I forget which one is on. Oh, maybe it's actually already on though. Maybe you don't want to delete it. Grab the foot controller, the blue one. Move that around.
Oh yeah.
Oh, never mind. That's already that's cool. Already set to. So you don't need to. For the arms, you would have to delete all those keyframes. Click on, and then it would be.
I see.
IK.
I see. Let's see. All right, Jans with the super chat. How do you resolve clothes clipping in UE? Is that even a thing? Like you just have to pull it out a little bit, or what?
Oh man. So I assume maybe this is a question about the cloth system itself. So one thing. So I don't know. I mean, if you have a hand, you resolve clipping. If there are no bones for the cloth, if the hand is going through the cloth, I think the easiest way to do it is use one of these systems to edit the hand so it doesn't do that, right?
Yeah.
If it has to do it, and it's I don't know if there's a way to like resolve it at the cloth level. Now, one thing that will often happen is that, again, when you use Movie Render Queue, it jumps into simulate mode. And that means the first 5 or 6 frames, the cloth often goes crazy because it's jumping on. Now, what you can do in the Movie Render Queue is you can set the engine warm-up time. So you add anti-aliasing.
Load.
Right? Yeah, use your settings. Click on the anti-aliasing and advanced. Nope. If you tick that engine warm-up time to like 100 frames, it will render. It will warm the engine up. It will give you 100 frames of the engine working. So the cloth will settle. If you're using ultra dynamic weather, oftentimes when you start simulating, the snow hasn't fallen yet. So you want to kick this up to 500 frames. So it has 500 frames of the snow falling before your render starts. So that is how, and it's engine warm up, not render warm up.
This checkbox would be to render those frames.
That's if you want to, render those, which I don't know why you would, but I always, you want to have the engine warm up. So that's That's one thing. And then also I know, and I don't know how to do this, but they added a cloth caching system in Unreal 5 now. So you can, because it's nice to know what your animation will look like, you can cache out your cloth sim in the sequencer. So you search for cloth caching in the Unreal documentation or in Google. You'll find a method and tutorials to do that.
Sick.
But you can do that now. I forget how you do it. But yeah.
Good question, Jan.
I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, no,
that's
that's helpful. Because I wouldn't
super
know.
pertinent.
Yeah. And also shout out for that 5th super chat, man. That's sick. Thank you. Thanks for the support. Let's see. The IK switch should be in global control.
Yeah, probably. Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, boom.
Yeah, good call.
Thank you.
Good call, chat.
I mean, dude, other than that, like, I think we're good. We've been streaming for a while.
I know, man. I know.
We did a real nice overview. We learned how to add characters in all the major programs. Freaking thank you so much, Sam. I really appreciate you being here
pleasure.
and hanging out with us and giving out that info.
So much fun.
So
yeah,
for those of you guys who are watching the stream now, you missed the earlier stuff. This video will be on, forever, so you can go back. I'm gonna go through, time code it, make sure you guys got the Blender, the Maya, the C4D parts. If you didn't hear, Kitbash 3D is now a sponsor of this challenge. They're giving out prizes, right? So top 5 get Cargo Pro for 3 months. Top 100 get a kit of their choice between 5 kits. So thank you, Kitbash, much appreciated. Dude, other than that, I think we're good. Sam, do you want to touch on anything else before we call it?
I'll be trying to join your live streams in the chat to help out. I will be doing mine Thursdays, 11 a.m. PST on the Rokoko channel. If you have questions about your mocap, I will do my best to help you out. We can talk about specific problems. And yeah, again, I just want to call out, I've spent so much time and effort trying to put out good tutorials on the Rokoko channel for mocap. If you have questions, that's a great place to start. That ultimate retargeting workflow playlist probably will answer a lot of your questions. And if you're an Unreal, we have links to the resources with that control rig, which is now in this video and everything. And so, yeah, hopefully, I hope this was, thank you for having me, man. Thank you, Soto, for being so awesome as always. And I really appreciate it because mocap is scary and intimidating. So many people have not worked with it before, and I do hope this helped demystify it.
I know you did, because I had questions and you answered them, and I really appreciate it. Thank you, Sam. Right. Thank you for being here, man. And yeah, guys, check out Sam's live stream on Rokoko, right? Rokoko YouTube channel, Thursday at 11 a.m. this whole month, right?
The.jabberwock on Instagram.
The.jabberwock on Instagram. Go follow Sam. Check him out.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sam. You're the best.
Thank you
Much
all.
appreciated.
Thanks for having me.
I'll see you guys later. Peace.